In this video, we're diving into 2 hours of Dragon Ball lore that even the biggest fans might have missed. Let's get into it. First up we got the original Super Saiyan God prophecy and the forgotten 6th Saiyan in ritual lore. The original Super Saiyan God prophecy and the forgotten 6th Saiyan in ritual lore. 39 years before the events that would shake the entire universe, a small fish with big predictions made an announcement that would change everything. This was not just any fish. The oracle fish lived in a bubble on top of a staff in the palace of Beerus, the god of destruction. This fish possessed the power of foresight, able to see events that would happen decades into the future. One day, the oracle fish told Beerus something that caught his attention. A powerful opponent called the Super Saiyan God would appear before him. This warrior would be worthy of fighting the god of destruction himself. Beerus found this prediction interesting. As a god of destruction, Beerus had lived for millions of years. He had destroyed countless planets and fought endless battles. But finding a truly worthy opponent had become nearly impossible. Most warriors were far too weak to even make him try. The oracle fish's prophecy gave him something to look forward to, a fight that might actually be exciting. So Beerus decided to take a long nap. He would sleep for exactly 39 years and wake up when this Super Saiyan God was supposed to appear. But there was a problem. When Beerus woke up 39 years later, he could not remember the name of this warrior. He remembered the prophecy about a powerful opponent, but the details were fuzzy. The god of destruction went back to the oracle fish and demanded answers. At first, the oracle fish could not remember either. Beerus threatened to reduce the fish's meals from 3 times a day to only twice a day unless she could remember. This motivated the oracle fish quickly. After thinking for a moment, she confirmed the name, Super Saiyan God. That was what the warrior was called. Beerus began his search. His attendant Whis informed him that a Saiyan named Goku had recently defeated Frieza by transforming into something called a Super Saiyan. This transformation featured golden hair and a massive power increase. Beerus thought this might be connected to the Super Saiyan God. He traveled to King Kai's planet where Goku was training. Goku was excited to fight such a powerful being. He even transformed into Super Saiyan 3, his strongest form at the time, but Beerus defeated him with a simple chop to the back of the neck. This was not the Super Saiyan God that the oracle fish had predicted. Goku was strong, but not strong enough. Beerus left, disappointed but determined to continue his search. The god of destruction then traveled to Earth during Bulma's birthday party. At this party, all of Goku's friends and family had gathered to celebrate. When Beerus arrived, everyone became terrified. They knew that gods of destruction could wipe out entire planets without breaking a sweat. Vegeta, the proud Saiyan prince, swallowed his pride and tried to keep Beerus happy with food and entertainment. For a while, this worked. Beerus enjoyed the Earth's cuisine and seemed content. But things went wrong when Majin Buu refused to share his pudding with Beerus. The god of destruction became angry. He started fighting the Z fighters one by one. Android 18, Tien, Piccolo, Gohan, Gotenks, all of them fell easily to Beerus's power. Even when Vegeta powered up after seeing Beerus slap Bulma, he too was defeated. Beerus prepared to destroy the entire planet Earth. Goku arrived just in time and begged for more time. He needed to learn about this Super Saiyan God form and find a way to achieve it. Goku summoned Shenron, the Eternal Dragon, using the Dragon Balls. When Shenron appeared, something unusual happened. The mighty dragon seemed afraid of Beerus. Nevertheless, Shenron answered Goku's question about the Super Saiyan God. The dragon explained that the information came from the Namekian Book of Legends, an ancient text written by a Namekian elder long ago. According to this book, achieving Super Saiyan God required a specific ritual. 6 righteous Saiyans needed to participate. 5 of them would channel their hearts and energy into a 6th Saiyan. That 6th Saiyan would then transform into the legendary Super Saiyan God. But there was an even older story behind this legend. The ritual itself had been created by an ancient Saiyan named Yamoshi. Yamoshi lived thousands of years ago, long before planet Vegeta became the home of the Saiyan race. He was unusual among Saiyans because he had a righteous heart. Most Saiyans of that era were evil, violent warriors who loved destruction and conquest. But Yamoshi was different. He believed in fighting for good. He gathered 5 companions who shared his righteous beliefs. Together, these 6 Saiyans started a rebellion against the evil Saiyans who dominated their society. During this rebellion, Yamoshi and his comrades were cornered by their enemies. The evil Saiyans greatly outnumbered them. In this desperate moment, Yamoshi achieved something that had never been done before. He transformed into the first Super Saiyan. His hair turned golden. His power multiplied many times over. This transformation shocked all the Saiyans who witnessed it. His fighting style became fierce and terrifying. But even with this incredible new power, Yamoshi could not win. The transformation drained his energy too quickly. He fought with everything he had, but exhaustion caught up to him. The evil Saiyans overwhelmed him with their sheer numbers. Yamoshi was defeated and killed. Most warriors would have passed on to the afterlife at this point. But Yamoshi's story did not end with his death. His spirit refused to move on. Instead, it wandered through the universe, searching. Yamoshi's spirit was looking for 6 new righteous Saiyans. He wanted to create a savior who could accomplish what he could not. This wandering spirit eventually encountered a Namekian elder who sympathized with his cause. This elder wrote down Yamoshi's story and the method to achieve a new form even more powerful than Super Saiyan. This new form would be called Super Saiyan God. The elder recorded all of this in the Namekian Book of Legends, which is how Shenron knew about it thousands of years later. Yamoshi's spirit also appeared in visions. Beerus himself had a prophetic dream where he sensed Yamoshi's spirit. This is likely what triggered the Oracle Fish's prophecy about the Super Saiyan God appearing 39 years later. The legend had been waiting for the right moment to resurface. Back on Earth, after Shenron explained the ritual, he vanished, and the Dragon Balls scattered across the planet. Now Goku and the others had to figure out how to actually perform this ritual. Shenron had said they needed 6 righteous Saiyans. Goku counted the available Saiyans. There was himself, Vegeta, Gohan, his half-Saiyan son, Goten, his other half-Saiyan son, and Trunks, Vegeta's half-Saiyan son. That made 5. They needed 1 more. Bulma mentioned Tarbal, Vegeta's younger brother, as a possibility. Tarbal was a pure-blooded Saiyan who had been sent away from planet Vegeta because he was considered too weak. But Tarbal was not on Earth. No one knew where he was or how to contact him quickly. Time was running out. Beerus was losing patience. They needed to try the ritual now, with whoever they had. So they attempted the ritual with just 5 Saiyans. All 5 transformed into Super Saiyans, their hair turning golden. They formed a circle holding hands. Then they channeled their energy into Goku. A bright light surrounded them. Goku felt his power increase. For a moment, it seemed like it might work, but the transformation was incomplete. Goku gained a temporary power boost, but he had not become a Super Saiyan God. The ritual had failed. They were still missing something crucial. Everyone stood confused. What had they done wrong? Shenron had clearly said 6 Saiyans were needed, not 5, but they only had 5 available Saiyans. The situation seemed hopeless. Beerus was about to lose his patience entirely and destroy the planet. Then Videl stepped forward. Videl was Gohan's wife. She was human, not Saiyan, but she had important information to share. She revealed that she was pregnant. Inside her womb was an unborn baby, Pan, who would be Gohan's daughter. Pan had Saiyan blood. She was 1/4 Saiyan, the granddaughter of Goku. Even though Pan had not yet been born, she was still a Saiyan. Videl had been keeping her pregnancy a secret, wanting to surprise Gohan at the right moment. But this was more important. They needed a 6th Saiyan, and Pan could fulfill that role. Everyone was shocked and excited by this news. Gohan was overjoyed to learn he would be a father. But there was no time to celebrate properly. They needed to try the ritual again immediately. This time, Videl joined the circle. Even though she was human, she was carrying a Saiyan child. The 6 participants gathered together. Goku stood ready to receive their power. The 5 Saiyans, Vegeta, Gohan, Goten, Trunks, and Pan, through Videl, joined hands in a circle. In the anime version of these events, something remarkable happened to Videl during the ritual. Her hair turned golden, just like a Super Saiyan's hair. This transformation occurred because of Pan's Saiyan energy flowing through her. Videl briefly took on a Super Saiyan-like appearance, even though she was not a Saiyan herself. The ritual participants did not just channel their ki or energy this time. Shenron had specified that they needed to pour their hearts into the 6th Saiyan, so they focused on their bonds with Goku. They thought about their connections, their trust, their shared experiences. The 2 Saiyans, standing closest to Goku, placed their palms on his back. The others continued to hold hands, forming a complete circle of energy. A brilliant blue and fiery aura erupted throughout the entire circle. This was the sign that the ritual was working properly this time. During this ritual, something mystical occurred. The spirit of Yamoshi appeared among them. A silhouette of an ancient Saiyan manifested in the energy surrounding Goku. This was Yamoshi's wandering spirit, finally finding the 6 righteous Saiyans he had been searching for across thousands of years. His ancient quest was complete. The savior he had wanted to create was finally being born. Goku began to float upward. His body was surrounded by the concentrated energy of all 6 Saiyans. Then the transformation happened. When it finished, Goku had changed, though not dramatically. His hair had become red, specifically a shade called magenta red. His eyes turned red as well, with more detailed irises. His body became slightly thinner and more refined. His skin took on a slight pink tint. The transformation was intentionally subtle. This was exactly what Akira Toriyama, the creator of Dragon Ball, had wanted. He insisted that Super Saiyan God should not look too different from Goku's normal appearance. It should not be overly muscular or flashy. Goku had successfully become a Super Saiyan God. The form granted him power that surpassed Super Saiyan 3 by a massive amount. More importantly, it gave him access to something called God Ki, or divine energy. This was a completely different type of energy than normal Ki. Even skilled fighters like Krillin or Piccolo could not sense God Ki at all. Only gods and those who possessed God Ki themselves could detect it. This made Super Saiyan God users incredibly difficult to track or predict in battle. With this new power, Goku could finally fight Beerus on more equal footing. Their battle was spectacular. They fought in the sky above Earth, then moved into outer space. Each clash of their fists created shockwaves that rippled through the universe. Old Kai and the other gods watching the battle became alarmed. These shockwaves were so powerful that they threatened to destroy the entire universe if the fight continued. The collision of Goku's and Beerus' energies created what Old Kai called super high-density energy that could cause universal destruction. The fight continued even after Goku's Super Saiyan God transformation reached its time limit. The form had a limited duration, just like the original Super Saiyan God from ancient times who fought on planet Vegeta. Goku reverted back to his regular Super Saiyan form in the anime version. But something amazing had happened. Goku had absorbed the godlike feeling of the transformation. Even in his normal forms, he could now access some of the power and techniques of Super Saiyan God. His body had learned what it felt like to possess God Ki. The battle eventually ended with Beerus claiming he was too tired to destroy Earth. He said that Goku had not been as powerful as the Oracle Fish had predicted, that the prophecy was exaggerated. But this was actually a lie. Whis later revealed that Beerus had been using 70% of his power against Super Saiyan God Goku in the movie version. Beerus was genuinely impressed. He told Goku and Vegeta that they might become truly formidable opponents in the future. Pan's role in the ritual, even as an unborn child, was crucial to saving Earth that day. Without her, the ritual could not have been completed. The fact that an unborn Quarter Saiyan could participate in the ritual showed how flexible the ancient ceremony was. It did not require pure-blooded Saiyans. It accepted anyone with Saiyan heritage, no matter how small, as long as they had a righteous heart. The prophecy that began with the Oracle Fish 39 years earlier had finally come true, but it took an unexpected path to reach its fulfillment. The prophecy was really about much more than just one person. It was about the legend of Yamoshi, the first Super Saiyan and first Super Saiyan God, finally reaching its conclusion. It was about 6 Saiyans coming together with pure hearts to create something greater than any of them individually. And it was about an unborn baby becoming the forgotten 6th Saiyan who made it all possible. This forgotten 6th Saiyan was not forgotten for long. Pan would grow up knowing that she had participated in one of the most important events in universe history before she was even born. She helped create the Super Saiyan God and save Earth from destruction. Not bad for someone who did not even have a fully formed body yet. The story also showed how the Super Saiyan God legend connected past and present. Yamoshi's actions thousands of years ago directly enabled Goku's transformation. The Namekian elder who wrote down the legend created a bridge between ancient times and the modern era. The Oracle Fish's prophecy tied it all together with perfect timing. And Pan, the youngest generation of Saiyan heritage, proved that the legend would continue into the future. Later, both Goku and Vegeta learned to access the Super Saiyan God form at will, without needing the ritual. Vegeta achieved this by training with Whis and learning to control God Ki directly. This evolution of the form showed that while the ritual was necessary to unlock the power initially, dedicated training could make it accessible anytime. The Super Saiyan God form became a stepping stone to even greater power, particularly Super Saiyan Blue, which combined the Super Saiyan transformation with God Ki. The ritual itself left some participants drained of energy. In the anime, Gohan and Goten could not even fly afterward because they had used so much energy during the ceremony. This showed the intense cost of channeling one's heart and ki into another person. It was not a simple energy transfer. It required giving everything, holding nothing back. The Oracle Fish continued to make prophecies after this event. She later predicted other threats to the universe, including a mysterious bird of catastrophe. Her predictions remained accurate, though Beerus sometimes forgot the details, just like he forgot about the Super Saiyan God name. The Oracle Fish became a recurring reminder that prophecy and destiny play important roles in the Dragon Ball universe, even for gods. The legend of the Super Saiyan God, from Yamoshi's first transformation through Goku's ritual ascension, represents one of the most important storylines in Dragon Ball lore. It connects ancient Saiyan history with modern events. It shows that righteousness and pure hearts matter more than raw power alone. And it proves that sometimes the most crucial participant is the one you least expect, an unborn child who became the forgotten 6th Saiyan and saved the universe before taking her first breath. Before we move on, make sure to subscribe if you're enjoying this breakdown. Moving on, we have Goku's Heart Virus timeline paradox between Trunks' future and the main continuity. Goku's Heart Virus timeline paradox between Trunks' future and the main continuity. 3 years. That was the warning future Trunks gave. In exactly 3 years, on May 12, age 767, two powerful androids would appear on an island near South City. These androids were created by Dr. Jiro, the chief scientist of the Red Ribbon Army that Goku destroyed as a child. But there was another warning, one even more personal. Future Trunks told Goku something that shocked everyone who overheard. Goku would die before the androids ever arrived. He would die from a heart virus. Future Trunks came from a timeline where this already happened. In his world, Goku contracted a mysterious heart virus and died early in age 767, approximately 6 months before the androids appeared on May 12. This virus had no name. People just called it the heart virus. It attacked the cardiovascular system with brutal efficiency. When someone got infected, they experienced severe exhaustion and fatigue. Even flying short distances became difficult. As the infection progressed, victims suffered excruciating chest pains. Eventually, the virus killed them. Even senzu beans could not cure it. Even a Saiyan's strengthened immune system could not fight it off. In Future Trunks' timeline, this virus affected multiple people. Future Trunks mentioned that many people succumbed to the illness in his world. There was no cure available when future Goku died. Goku was one of those victims. He died early in age, 767, roughly 6 months before the androids appeared. The exact circumstances of his death were never fully explained to Future Trunks. Future Goku was unaware that the virus would kill him until it was too late. He never received any warning. One day he just got sick, and the sickness kept getting worse until it killed him. Goku's death was classified as a natural cause. This created a serious problem. The Dragon Balls could not bring back anyone who died from natural causes. Future Goku had also already been wished back to life once before, after he sacrificed himself fighting Raditz. Shenron's rules stated that the same person could only be revived once with Earth's Dragon Balls. So, even if natural causes were not an issue, future Goku still could not return. His death left Earth without its strongest defender. 6 months later, on May 12, age 767, the androids appeared. Without Goku, the remaining Z-Fighters tried to stop them. They failed. Android 17 and Android 18 slaughtered nearly all of them within hours of appearing. Piccolo died first, killed by Android 18. When Piccolo died, Kami died too, since they were once the same being. The death of Kami meant the Dragon Balls disappeared permanently. Vegeta, Yamcha, Tien, Krillin, and Chiaotzu all fell to the androids that same day. Only future Gohan survived the initial massacre. Future Bulma understood that Goku would have made the difference. She believed her late friend could have defeated the androids if he had lived long enough to face them, so she spent years working on a solution. She built a time machine. Her son, Future Trunks, would travel back 20 years into the past. He would warn Goku about both threats. He would give Goku medicine to cure the heart virus, and hopefully, he would change history. Future Bulma developed this medicine after Goku's death. Scientists in Future Trunks' timeline studied the virus and created a cure, but they created it too late. Goku was already dead. The medicine could save someone if they took it after symptoms appeared, but it could not bring back the dead, so Future Trunks carried this medicine in a small bottle. It represented hope. Hope that his past could be better than his present. When Future Trunks arrived in age 764, he met Goku shortly after defeating Frieza and King Cold. He explained everything. The androids would appear in 3 years. Goku would die from a heart virus before they arrived. The medicine would save him. Goku needed to take it when symptoms appeared. Future Trunks warned that symptoms would show up before the android threat. Goku needed to be ready. This warning changed everything. Piccolo overheard the entire conversation using his enhanced hearing. He told the other Z-Fighters. Everyone began training intensely for 3 years. They prepared for a threat they now knew was coming. But something strange happened with the heart virus, something that created a timeline paradox that was never fully explained. Future Trunks expected Goku to show symptoms months before May 12, age 767. His mother specifically designed the medicine to prevent the death that happened in their timeline. The implication was clear. Symptoms should have appeared early in age 767, just like they did for future Goku. Goku should have gotten sick, taken the medicine, recovered, and then fought the androids while healthy. That is not what happened. May 12, age 767 arrived. The day the androids were supposed to appear, Goku and the Z-Fighters traveled to the island near South City, where Future Trunks said the androids would emerge. Right on schedule, 2 figures appeared, Android 19 and Android 20. These androids looked different from what Future Trunks described, but that was a separate issue. The important detail was what happened to Goku during this battle. Goku fought Android 19. He transformed into a Super Saiyan to match the android's power, but something went wrong. Goku started breathing heavily. He began sweating more than normal. He felt exhausted just from flying away from the city. His movements became slower. his attacks became weaker. Vegeta noticed something was seriously wrong with Goku's fighting. This was not how Goku normally fought. Then, the chest pain started. Goku collapsed, clutching his chest. The virus had finally manifested its symptoms. Right there, in the middle of battle, on the exact same day the androids appeared. Not 6 months earlier like in Future Trunks' timeline. Not even a few days earlier. The exact same day. Vegeta had to step in and destroy Android 19 to save Goku's life. Yamcha picked up the weakened Goku and flew him back to his home on Mount Paozu. Chi-Chi was terrified seeing her husband in such condition. They gave him the medicine that Future Trunks had provided. The medicine worked, but it took time. Goku remained bedridden for about 10 days while the medicine fought the virus in his system. Eventually, the virus was successfully cured. Goku recovered and rejoined the fight against the androids and the new threat of Cell. But this created a significant paradox. Future Trunks specifically said Goku would die before the androids appeared. He said this because that is exactly what happened in his timeline. Future Goku died 6 months before the androids. The medicine was designed to cure Goku before that happened. Yet in the main timeline, the virus waited. It only showed symptoms on the exact day the androids appeared, roughly 6 months after Future Goku's symptoms appeared in the alternate timeline. Why did this happen? The series never provided a definitive explanation. The official Dragon Ball sources acknowledged that time travel caused disruptions and changes. When Future Trunks traveled back in time using the time machine, he disrupted the natural flow of history. Simply appearing in the past caused random changes to occur. The timeline became unstable, events shifted, details changed. The official explanation was that time distortions from the use of Future Bulma's time machine, or possibly from Cell's time machine, created these side effects. The virus timing shifting was likely one of these random time distortions. The exact mechanism behind the timing change remains a mystery. Fans have developed various theories to explain it, though none are confirmed by the series. Some suggest that Goku's intense 3-year training regimen kept his body in peak condition, which might have delayed symptom onset. Others point to Vegeta's observation that Super Saiyan transformation accelerated the virus effects. Theorizing different transformation patterns between timelines could explain the timing difference. Some fans even speculate about alien diseases from planet Yardrat, or stress from different battle experiences. However, these remain fan speculation. The series itself only confirms that time distortions caused the change without explaining the specific biological or temporal mechanism. Regardless of the reason, the paradox remained. Future Trunks gave Goku a warning based on what happened in his timeline. The warning was technically accurate. Goku would contract a deadly heart virus. But the timing was completely wrong. Future Trunks expected Goku to show symptoms months before the androids. Instead, symptoms appeared on the exact day of their arrival. This created a dangerous situation where Goku was fighting for his life while also trying to fight androids. The medicine still saved him. That part of Future Trunks' plan worked perfectly. Even though the timing was wrong, having the medicine available meant Goku survived. In a twisted way, the delayed symptoms actually created a more dramatic moment. Goku nearly died during the android battle itself, making the medicine's availability even more critical. Future Trunks returned to his own timeline eventually. In his world, Goku stayed dead. The timeline changes only affected the main continuity. Future Trunks' past became brighter, but his present remained dark. However, Future Trunks did benefit from the time travel in a different way. When he went back to the past, he trained with the Z Fighters. He learned new techniques. He entered the hyperbolic time chamber and grew significantly stronger. When he returned to his timeline in age 784, he was powerful enough to easily destroy his timeline's androids. He killed both Android 17 and Android 18 with little effort. Soon after, Future Cell emerged from his own time machine, planning to steal Future Trunks' time machine and travel to the past. Future Trunks sensed him and confronted him. The battle was completely one-sided. Future Trunks killed Future Cell before he could execute his plan. The medicine could not save Future Goku, but Future Trunks' improved strength saved his world. The Heart Virus storyline showed that even Goku had vulnerabilities. No amount of Super Saiyan power could punch a virus. No Kamehameha could blast away a disease. It was a threat that required medicine, not martial arts. This made it unique among Dragon Ball dangers. Most threats in the series could be solved with sufficient power. The Heart Virus could only be solved with proper medical treatment. The timing difference between Future Goku's symptoms and main timeline Goku's symptoms created one of Dragon Ball's most interesting paradoxes. It was never fully explained beyond the general acknowledgement that time travel created disruptions. The series confirmed that using time machines caused side effects and altered when certain events occurred. The Heart Virus timing was one of those altered events. The paradox highlighted how time travel in Dragon Ball worked. Changing the past did not change future Trunks' future. It created a new timeline with different outcomes. The original timeline continued existing separately. Future Goku remained dead. Main timeline Goku survived. Both were true simultaneously. The heart virus affected both Gokus, just with mysteriously different timing that confirmed time itself was not completely stable when time machines were involved. The disease itself remained mysterious. The series never explained where it came from. The method by which people contracted it was never confirmed. Piccolo speculated that it might be contagious, advising Yamcha to take some medicine after carrying Goku home, but this was never confirmed. The virus appeared suddenly in both timelines with no clear source. It killed future Goku early in age 767. It nearly killed main timeline Goku on May 12, age 767. The 6-month difference in symptom appearance remains unexplained beyond time distortions. In the Japanese version, the disease was considered incurable at the time it killed future Goku in the original timeline. The cure was developed afterward, too late to help him. This makes future Bulma's decision to send the medicine back in time even more meaningful. She could not save her timeline's Goku, but she could potentially save another timeline's Goku, and she succeeded. The heart virus paradox demonstrated that time travel had consequences beyond the obvious. Future Trunks came back to prevent Goku's death. He succeeded, but not in the way he expected. The warning itself changed the timeline enough that the death occurred at a different time. The virus still struck. The danger still existed. But the timing shifted by approximately 6 months, turning a death 6 months before the android arrival into a near-death on the exact day of their arrival. This timeline paradox remains one of the most discussed mysteries among Dragon Ball fans. Why exactly did the timing shift by 6 months? The series never provided a complete answer beyond attributing it to time distortions. It stands as an unexplained side effect of time travel and one of Dragon Ball's most fascinating chronological mysteries. The only certainty is that time travel changed more than just the obvious events. It changed subtle details like when symptoms appeared, creating ripple effects that no one could have predicted. Future Trunks saved Goku's life by providing the medicine, but the time travel itself created new variables that changed when that medicine would be needed. The paradox of the heart virus timing represents the unpredictable nature of altering history, where even with perfect knowledge of the future, the past refuses to follow the same script. Before we move on, make sure to subscribe if you're enjoying this breakdown. Moving on to Majin Buu's absorption hierarchy and personality dominance rules. Majin Buu's absorption hierarchy and personality dominance rules. Majin Buu possessed one of the most complex and confusing absorption systems in Dragon Ball. Unlike Cell, who simply gained power from absorbing opponents, Buu's absorptions fundamentally changed who he was. His personality, intelligence, physical appearance, and even his moral compass shifted depending on who he absorbed. Understanding how Buu's absorption hierarchy worked requires tracing his entire history, starting millions of years before the main Dragon Ball story even began. Kid Buu was the original form. This was Majin Buu in his purest state, created by the evil wizard Bibidi millions of years ago. Kid Buu was not actually a kid, despite the name. He was a small, pink creature with a childlike appearance, but there was nothing innocent about him. Kid Buu was pure evil. He had no conscience, no reasoning ability, and no capacity for mercy. He existed only to destroy. He was described as evil incarnate, a mindless killing machine that rampaged across the universe, destroying entire planets for no reason other than the joy of destruction. Kid Buu killed 2 Supreme Kais immediately. North Supreme Kai and West Supreme Kai both fell to his power with little effort. Then Kid Buu fought South Supreme Kai. This battle was different. South Supreme Kai was the most powerful of all the Supreme Kais in Universe 7. He was large, muscular, and incredibly strong. The fight between Kid Buu and South Supreme Kai was intense. South Supreme Kai managed to damage Buu, even ripping off his arm at one point. He countered Buu's attacks and fought somewhat evenly with the monster. But Buu eventually gained the advantage. Kid Buu used a sneak attack to absorb South Supreme Kai. The absorption transformed Kid Buu completely. He became massive and hulking, like a bodybuilder. This form is sometimes called Buff Buu. His power increased significantly. However, his personality remained largely unchanged. He was still a mindless destroyer, just now with the strength of South Supreme Kai added to his own. Shortly after this transformation, Kid Buu encountered Grand Supreme Kai. The Grand Supreme Kai was the leader of all the Supreme Kais, holding authority over the 4 directional Kais. He was known for his peaceful disposition, his benevolent nature, and his love of food. Grand Supreme Kai fought Kid Buu to protect Shin, the East Supreme Kai. Despite his efforts and even with help from the absorbed South Supreme Kai's power, Grand Supreme Kai could not defeat Buu through normal combat. Buu absorbed him. This absorption changed everything. When Kid Buu absorbed Grand Supreme Kai, he transformed into what would later be called Innocent Buu or Fat Buu. He became round, chubby, and childlike in appearance. His personality completely changed. The innocent, pure-hearted nature of Grand Supreme Kai suppressed Buu's evil. Fat Buu became playful, carefree, and even somewhat good-natured. He was no longer a mindless killing machine. He could be reasoned with, could form friendships, and had a conscience. However, this transformation actually made Buu weaker. Grand Supreme Kai's benevolent influence held back Buu's full power. The absorption of someone weaker in combat ability but stronger in spirit resulted in a less dangerous but physically weaker Majin Buu. This reveals the first major rule of Buu's absorption hierarchy. Physical power was not the only factor. Personality and spirit mattered tremendously. When Buu absorbed someone with a strong personality and pure heart like Grand Supreme Kai, that personality could become dominant even if the absorbed person was weaker in raw strength. Grand Supreme Kai's influence suppressed not just Buu's evil, but also his full power. Fat Buu remained this way for millions of years. He was eventually sealed away by the Supreme Kais and Bibidi. When Babidi, Bibidi's son, released Buu in the present day, he was still in this Fat Buu form, with Grand Supreme Kai's influence intact. The next major transformation occurred when Fat Buu befriended Mr. Satan. This friendship, combined with the affection from a dog named B, caused Fat Buu to resolve not to kill anymore. He wanted to be good. But when two evil humans shot both B and Mr. Satan, Fat Buu became enraged. This rage allowed the evil aspect of his personality to manifest. The evil inside Fat Buu literally came out of his body as steam and solidified into a separate being. This creature was called Evil Buu. Evil Buu was tall, thin, gray, and completely evil. He represented all the wickedness that remained in Fat Buu after Grand Supreme Kai's influence had suppressed most of it. Fat Buu tried to fight Evil Buu. He turned Evil Buu into chocolate using his chocolate beam. But Evil Buu reflected the attack, turning Fat Buu into chocolate instead. Evil Buu then ate the chocolate, absorbing Fat Buu. This absorption was unique and crucial to understanding Buu's hierarchy. Evil Buu was absorbing another part of himself. Good Buu, as he would later be called, was not fully a separate being but rather a portion of the original Majin Buu. When Evil Buu absorbed Good Buu, they merged back together. The result was Super Buu. Super Buu was taller, more muscular, and far more intelligent than Fat Buu. His personality was primarily evil, but not entirely. The influence of Good Buu restrained him slightly. He chose not to kill Mr. Satan, for example, even though he wanted to. The Good Buu inside him prevented this. Super Buu was described as pure rage. He had dangerous fits of anger and very little patience. He possessed the power to rip through dimensional walls if angry enough. His intelligence was bizarre. Before absorbing anyone else, Super Buu could count every grain of sand in an hourglass within seconds and deduce how long an hour lasted. He could sense how many humans remained on Earth just by flying around once. Yet he also fell for simple tricks and had trouble understanding basic concepts. The hierarchy rule revealed here was about dominance. When Evil Buu absorbed Good Buu, Evil Buu's personality became dominant because he was the one doing the absorbing. The consumer's personality took precedence. Evil Buu was in control, and Good Buu's influence was suppressed. However, Good Buu was not gone. He existed inside Super Buu, contained in a pink cocoon-like pod. His presence affected Super Buu's decisions and personality in subtle ways, but Evil Buu remained in charge. Super Buu then began absorbing the Z fighters. First, he absorbed Gotenks and Piccolo simultaneously. Gotenks was the fusion of Goten and Trunks, transformed into Super Saiyan 3. Piccolo was the Namekian warrior. Super Buu absorbed both at once. This absorption gave him a massive power increase. His appearance changed. His head tentacle grew much longer, mimicking Super Saiyan 3 hair. His face became more human, gaining an actual nose. His stubby fingers became long and fully formed. He wore Gotenks' blue and yellow vest because Gotenks was now his primary power source. The personality changes were significant. Super Buu gained Piccolo's intelligence. He began speaking with Piccolo's eloquence. His mental capacity skyrocketed. He could now plan complex strategies and engage in psychological warfare. He also gained some of Gotenks' personality traits. He became somewhat cocky and arrogant. However, Piccolo's intelligence balanced out Gotenks' recklessness. Super Buu specifically absorbed Piccolo for his intelligence. Before the absorption, Buu stated he wanted to add Gotenks' power and Piccolo's brains. This showed that Buu understood the value of intelligence, not just strength. The absorption gave him both. This revealed another hierarchy rule. The strongest absorbed person became the primary influence. Gotenks was far more powerful than Piccolo, so Super Buu wore Gotenks' vest and gained the most power from him. However, other absorbed people still contributed their traits. Piccolo's intelligence merged with the overall personality. Super Buu became a fusion of Evil Buu's rage, Gotenks' cockiness, and Piccolo's strategic mind. All three influenced the final result. but the strongest provided the dominant physical characteristics. The fusion between Goten and Trunks had a time limit. After 30 minutes, Gotenks diffused inside Super Buu. Super Buu's power dropped significantly. Goku stated in the anime that Buu lost over 1/3 of his power when the fusion ended. Super Buu's appearance changed again. He no longer wore Gotenks' vest. Instead, he wore Piccolo's cape. Piccolo had now become the primary absorbed fighter. Goten and Trunks were still inside Buu individually, but their power was much less impressive when separated. Piccolo's intelligence remained, but the massive power boost from Gotenks was gone. Super Buu was weaker than before, but still smarter than his original base form. Super Buu then absorbed Ultimate Gohan. Gohan had been powered up by the Elder Kai, and was the strongest non-fused character at that point. Buu used a piece of his severed head tentacle to sneak up and absorb Gohan. This absorption gave Super Buu another massive power increase. He now wore Gohan's gi top and undershirt. His appearance became even more refined and human-like. His personality shifted again. He retained Piccolo's intelligence, but gained additional traits from Gohan. Some sources suggest he became slightly less intelligent after absorbing Gohan, possibly because Gohan's personality was less analytical than Piccolo's. The exact personality effects were less clear than previous absorptions, but the power increase was undeniable. This form was the strongest version of Majin Buu ever seen in the original series. Various guidebooks and statements confirm that Super Buu with Gohan absorbed was the mightiest Majin. The hierarchy rule here was clear. The most recently absorbed powerful fighter became the primary physical characteristic source. When Super Buu absorbed Gohan, Gohan replaced Gotenks and Piccolo as the dominant absorbed person. Gohan's clothing appeared on Buu. However, everyone previously absorbed still contributed. Piccolo, Goten, Trunks, and Good Buu all remained inside Super Buu in their cocoon pods. Their powers and personalities added to the complete being, but Gohan was now the primary absorption. Inside Super Buu's body, all absorbed people existed in a strange internal dimension. They were contained in pink cocoons attached to fleshy tendrils. When Goku and Vegeta entered Buu's body, they saw these cocoons. They found Gohan, Goten, Trunks, and Piccolo. They also found Good Buu in his own cocoon. This was crucial. Good Buu was not the same as the other absorbed people. Good Buu represented the absorbed Grand Supreme Kai's influence. He was part of what made Super Buu different from Kid Buu. The presence of Good Buu inside Super Buu meant that Grand Supreme Kai's goodness still existed somewhere in the being, even if suppressed. Vegeta tore free the cocoon containing Good Buu. This removal was catastrophic for Super Buu. He immediately began to transform. Removing Good Buu meant removing Grand Supreme Kai's influence. Super Buu reverted toward his original evil form. He briefly became Buff Buu for a split second, the form he took when he had only absorbed South Supreme Kai. Then he transformed again into Kid Buu. Kid Buu was smaller, more childlike in appearance, and completely feral. He was pure evil once again, with no restraint whatsoever. The removal of Good Buu purged all of Grand Supreme Kai's influence from the being. This revealed the most important hierarchy rule. The absorbed people were like layers. Removing the deepest, most foundational layer caused the entire structure to collapse back to the original form. Good Buu was not just another absorption. He was the transformed version of Kid Buu after absorbing Grand Supreme Kai millions of years ago. Removing him meant removing that ancient transformation. Kid Buu represented Majin Buu with zero outside influence. He was the baseline. Everything else was added on top through absorption. Kid Buu then did something unexpected. He spit out a pink blob. This blob was Good Buu. But why would Kid Buu spit him out? The answer lay in personality conflict. Good Buu's presence inside Kid Buu prevented Kid Buu from harming Mr. Satan. Grand Supreme Kai's memories and influence created hesitation. Kid Buu wanted to be completely evil without restraint. So he expelled Good Buu entirely. This created two separate beings. Kid Buu, the pure evil, original form, and Good Buu, who contained Grand Supreme Kai's spirit and influence. Good Buu survived as a separate being and later befriended the Z Fighters. The absorption hierarchy had one final complication. When Kid Buu was destroyed by Goku's Spirit Bomb, Grand Supreme Kai's divine power did not go with Good Buu. It went with Kid Buu. This was revealed much later in Dragon Ball Super, when Kid Buu was reincarnated as Oob, the human boy inherited Grand Supreme Kai's godly energy. Good Buu retained Grand Supreme Kai's memories and personality, but lost most of the divine power. The mechanics of this split were never fully explained. Why did the god power go to Kid Buu instead of staying with Good Buu? The series did not provide a clear answer, but the result was that Good Buu existed as a separate, weaker being while Oob inherited the god power. The complete absorption hierarchy can be summarized with several rules. First, physical power matters, but personality matters more. A weaker person with a stronger personality can suppress a stronger being's evil, as Grand Supreme Kai did to Kid Buu. Second, the absorber's personality dominates over the absorbed. Evil Boo controlled Super Boo, even though Good Boo was inside him. Third, the most recent powerful absorption becomes the primary physical influence. Gohan replaced Gotenks as the dominant absorbed person. Fourth, all absorbed people contribute their traits, intelligence, personality quirks, and abilities stacked together. Fifth, removing foundational absorptions causes regression. Taking out Good Boo made Super Boo revert to Kid Boo. Sixth, the deepest absorbed person can fundamentally change Boo's nature. Grand Supreme Kai turned a mindless destroyer into a being capable of goodness. Majin Buu's absorption was not simply additive power, it was a complex layering system where personality, spirit, intelligence, and power all interacted. The hierarchy determined by strength, timing, and spiritual force created different versions of Buu with vastly different capabilities and moralities. Understanding this hierarchy explains why Buu could be both the most evil and the most innocent character, sometimes simultaneously. Before we move on, make sure to subscribe if you're enjoying this breakdown. Moving on, we have the Grand Priest family structure and angel ranking order across 12 universes. The Grand Priest family structure and angel ranking order across 12 universes. The Grand Priest appears when Goku visits Xeno. He stands small but gives off massive pressure. Goku feels it immediately and tells Whis he wants to fight this guy someday. Whis warns him that the Grand Priest ranks among the top 5 strongest beings in all universes. Even Whis himself admits he cannot match his father's power. The Grand Priest serves as Xeno's closest advisor and enforces the Omni King's commands across all 12 universes. But his most important role involves raising and training the angels who shape the fate of creation itself. The Grand Priest is the father of 13 angels. 12 of these angels serve as attendants to the 12 gods of destruction, one for each universe. The 13th angel broke tradition entirely. Each angel trains their assigned god of destruction in combat and guides them through their duties. They watch over the balance between creation and destruction. They ensure their gods do not abuse their power. They remain calm and detached even when entire universes face erasure. But underneath that serene exterior lies fighting ability that surpasses almost everything in existence. Angels share distinct physical traits that mark them as the Grand Priest's offspring. They all possess blue or teal-colored skin. Their hair grows pure white without exception. A large glowing halo floats around each angel's neck rather than above their head. They dress in robes that vary in color but follow similar designs. Most angels stand tall and slender with graceful movements. They speak politely and maintain composed demeanors regardless of chaos around them. Their eyes see through deception, and their minds calculate outcomes mortals cannot comprehend. Yet, despite their immense power, they serve others rather than rule directly. The naming pattern for angels follows a specific theme. Every angel receives a name derived from alcoholic beverages. Whis comes from whiskey. His older sister Vados references Calvados, an apple brandy from France. Cognac obviously relates to the French spirit. Kukatail modifies cocktail. Kusu comes from kusu, a term for aged awamori from Okinawa. Maris draws from the Latin word for pure wine. This naming convention extends through the known angels without exception. It creates unity among the siblings while giving each a distinct identity tied to Earth's drink culture. Universe 1 claims the title of Supreme Universe with the highest mortal level ranking. Awamo serves as its angel. He works alongside Anato, the Supreme Kai, and Iwan, the god of destruction. Universe 1 avoided the Tournament of Power entirely due to its high mortal level, so Awamo spent that crisis watching from the sidelines while other angels risked losing their assigned universes. Universe 2 earned the nickname Peaceful Universe and ranked 6th among all universes. Sour acts as its angel attendant. He served Hales, the god of destruction, and Pel, the Supreme Kai. Universe 2 featured warriors who fought during the Tournament of Power. Sour maintained his composure even when his universe's fighters fell one by one. His universe lasted longer than most during the competition. Universe 3 bears the designation Spiritual Universe. Campari serves as its angel. Campari holds a unique duty among his siblings because Moscow, Universe 3's god of destruction, communicates only through electronic sounds. Campari acts as interpreter between Moscow and everyone else. Universe 3 focused on creating modified warriors and robots during the Tournament of Power. Universe 4 carries the title Intriguing Universe and ranked 9th overall. Cognac guides this universe as its angel. He served Quitella, a mouse-like god of destruction, and Kuru, the Supreme Kai. Universe 4 specialized in deception and invisible warriors during the Tournament of Power. They nearly eliminated Universe 7 through strategy rather than raw strength. Universe 5 achieved 3rd place in the mortal level rankings as the Equilibrium Universe. Kukatail serves as its angel attendant. He serves Kaioshin Oguma and god of destruction Arak. This philosophy kept Universe 5 safe from the Tournament of Power. Kukatail continues, guiding his universe. Universe 6 earned the designation Challenge Universe and serves as Universe 7's twin. Vados acts as its angel. She represents Whis' older sister. Vados shares some personality traits with Whis. She guided Champa, who happens to be Beerus' twin brother. The sibling rivalry between Champa and Beerus mirrors the relationship between Vados and Whis. Vados destroyed planets at Champa's request and organized the Tournament of Destroyers between Universe 6 and 7. When Universe 6 faced erasure during the Tournament of Power, Vados immediately moved to sit beside Whis. Universe 7 contains Earth and serves as the main setting for Dragon Ball. Whis guides this universe as its angel. He trains Beerus, the god of destruction, and later takes Goku and Vegeta as students. Whis demonstrates abilities that exceed everyone in Universe 7, except possibly his father. He can rewind time by 3 minutes using his staff. He moves faster than anyone can perceive. He knocks out both Goku and Vegeta simultaneously without effort. Whis maintains perfect Ultra Instinct at all times, allowing his body to react independently from conscious thought. He enjoys Earth's food and often visits for culinary experiences. Whis balances his duties with a personality that sometimes mocks even Beerus himself. Universe 8 ranks among the universes with high mortal level. Korn serves as its angel. He guided God of Destruction, Liquier, and Supreme Kai Iru. Universe 8 avoided the Tournament of Power due to high mortal level. Korn witnessed the tournament from the stands alongside other angels whose universes earned safety. Universe 9 carried the title Betrayal Universe and ranked dead last in mortal level. Mojito acted as its angel attendant. He served Supreme Kairu and God of Destruction, Sidra. Universe 9 became the first eliminated from the Tournament of Power. Mojito showed a calm reaction when his universe was erased. Later, when Android 17 wished all erased universes back to existence, Mojito appeared pleased by this outcome. Universe 10 received the designation Macho Universe and ranked 8th in mortal level. Kusu serves as its angel and is the Grand Priest's oldest child. Despite appearing as a young girl, Kusu advised both God of Destruction Rumshi and Supreme Kai Gowasu. Kusu showed more emotion than other angels during the Tournament of Power. She visibly became frustrated and saddened as Universe 10's fighters fell. When Xeno erased Universe 10, Kusu quietly mourned. She whispered Rumshi's name as he vanished. This emotional display proved angels can form genuine attachments despite their divine nature. Universe 11 earned fame as the Justice Universe. Margarita serves as its angel. She guided Belmod, the god of destruction, and trained Toppo as the next god of destruction candidate. Her universe produced Jiren, the mortal who surpassed his own god of destruction in power. Universe 11 nearly won the Tournament of Power. Universe 12 holds designation as the Ultimate Universe. Martinu acts as its angel. Very little information exists about Martinu or Universe 12 since it ranked high enough to avoid the Tournament of Power. Martinu presumably continues guiding her universe. The 13th angel breaks every pattern. Maris never received assignment to a specific god of destruction. The Grand Priest personally trained Maris as a trainee angel and sent him to Universe 7. Maris joined the Galactic Patrol as their #1 elite patrolman. He demonstrated incredible speed and skill. Maris knocked both Goku and Vegeta unconscious simultaneously without them perceiving his movements. His true nature remained hidden during his time in mortal disguise. He possessed abilities that exceeded normal mortals. The Grand Priest explained his reasoning for sending Maris to the mortal realm. Angels must act impartially under a single law that governs their existence. The Grand Priest wanted Maris to learn about mortals and broaden his perspective. Serving with the Galactic Patrol would expose Maris to concepts from a mortal viewpoint. This training method differed completely from how other angels learned their duties. Unfortunately, this plan contained a flaw. Maris developed feelings about justice during his time with mortals. When Moro, the Planet Eater, threatened Universe 7, Maris could not remain a detached observer. He trained Goku in Ultra Instinct. He prepared to fight Moro directly. Whis intervened before Maris could break angel law completely. Whis revealed Maris's true identity to Goku and explained that angels who break their code face eradication. This represents the only way an angel can cease to exist. Despite the warning, Maris eventually chose to fight Moro at full angel power. His halo appeared as he unleashed his complete abilities against the Planet Eater. The Grand Priest immediately erased Maris from existence for violating angel law. After Moro's defeat, Supreme Kaishin requested that the Grand Priest revive Maris in recognition of his contribution to defeating the threat. The Grand Priest agreed, but imposed conditions. He brought Maris back as a mortal, named Maris Ikonoi Chiaboshi, with a definite lifespan. Maris accepted this outcome and returned to the Galactic Patrol. He retained some abilities but lost his angel status forever. The hierarchy among angels remains somewhat unclear. Kusu is the oldest child. Whis and Vados both demonstrate exceptional ability among their siblings. The Grand Priest surpasses all his children in strength and mastery of Ultra Instinct. Maris ranked below full angels as merely a trainee. But no definitive power ranking exists among the 12 angels who serve gods of destruction. They all maintain perfect ultra instinct at all times. They all exceed their assigned gods of destruction in combat ability. Angels share numerous abilities beyond combat strength. They manipulate space and time through their staffs. They create portals between realms and universes. They heal injuries. They materialize objects. They see events across vast distances and observe past and present. They teach martial arts and techniques to gods of destruction. They remain perpetually in perfected ultra instinct, where their bodies move and react without conscious thought. They survive universe erasure, when Xeno wipes entire realities from existence. They cease functioning when their assigned god of destruction dies, entering a dormant state until a new god receives appointment. Angels do not age and cannot be killed through normal means. They can only be erased from existence if they violate angel law. This erasure represents permanent removal with no resurrection possible through normal methods. The Grand Priest demonstrated the ability to bring Maris back, but only as a mortal, not as an angel. Angels do not possess unlimited resurrection abilities. They have healing powers, but these have limits. They cannot revive those killed by demons. Their abilities, while vast, operate within specific boundaries. The angel family structure creates stability across 12 universes. The Grand Priest guides his 13 children while serving Xeno. 12 angels guide their gods of destruction while serving their universes. One angel walked among mortals and sacrificed his divine nature for justice. Together they form a network of divine attendants who maintain balance between creation and destruction across all reality. They remain calm when universes face erasure. They maintain neutrality when mortals suffer. They enforce laws that prevent direct intervention. Yet, underneath that composed exterior exists capability for connection and emotion. The Grand Priest family shapes existence itself through guidance rather than direct rule, embodying wisdom that surpasses power alone. The Grand Priest himself displays abilities that dwarf even his children. He stopped punches from 2 gods of destruction using only his fingers. He created the Tournament of Power arena from Kachi Kachin, the strongest material in all universes. He presided over the tournament and granted Android 17's wish to restore the erased universes. His mastery of Ultra Instinct exceeds both Whis and Maris. He can erase angels from existence and bring them back under specific conditions. He teleports individuals across vast distances. He enforces Xeno's commands throughout the multiverse. Whis stated explicitly that the Grand Priest ranks among the top 5 strongest beings in all universes. The manga goes further, declaring him the strongest being in existence aside from those with reality-altering abilities like Xeno. Gods of destruction fear him. Supreme Kais kneel before him. Even his own children treat him with utmost respect. When the Grand Priest glares at someone, even Beerus shrinks back in terror. His power exists on a scale that mortals cannot comprehend. Yet he uses that power not to rule but to maintain order and train those who will guide creation. The relationship between the Grand Priest and his children shows through small moments. Whis calls him father directly rather than using only his title. The Grand Priest listens to Whis' suggestion about handling Maris rather than immediately recalling the trainee. When Maris violated angel law, the Grand Priest erased him as required but later granted Supreme Kai's request for revival. These actions suggest the Grand Priest balances strict enforcement of rules with consideration for individual circumstances. He prepared Maris for mortal life when bringing him back. He ensures all angels understand their duties while allowing them to develop individual personalities. The angels maintain contact with each other despite serving separate universes. Whis and Vados clearly know each other well as siblings. Margarita speaks with other angels as familiar acquaintances. When universes were erased, angels whose universes survived watched together from the stands. They exist as a family spread across reality rather than isolated individuals. This connection provides stability to the divine hierarchy. Angels can consult each other even if they rarely need assistance. They share knowledge and, presumably, training techniques. The Grand Priest oversees this network of divine beings who collectively maintain the multiverse. 18 universes once existed before Xeno destroyed 6 of them. This means 6 more angels presumably existed before those erasures. What happened to those angels remains unknown. Did they cease functioning like they would if their god of destruction died? Did they receive new assignments? Did the Grand Priest have more than 13 children total? The series provides no answers to these questions. The current count of 13 angels serves the 12 remaining universes plus Maris, who left active angel duty. But the history of the angels extends further back than current events reveal. The angel system creates interesting dynamics in the divine hierarchy. Angels surpass gods of destruction in power, yet serve them as attendants. Angels cannot fight freely, yet train others in combat. Angels must remain impartial, yet develop individual personalities and preferences. Angels guide universes toward higher mortal levels, yet cannot directly interfere to help mortals. These contradictions define the angel role. They possess overwhelming power constrained by purpose and law. They serve those weaker than themselves to maintain balance rather than seize control. This structure prevents abuse while ensuring proper guidance exists throughout creation. Universe 7 benefits tremendously from Whis' guidance. Without Whis training Goku and Vegeta, Universe 7 would have lost the Tournament of Power. Without Whis rewinding time, Frieza would have destroyed Earth. Without Whis teaching proper ki control, the Saiyans would never have reached godly levels. Yet Whis only helps within specific boundaries. He trains them but does not fight their battles. He advises but does not make decisions for them. He maintains the role of guide rather than savior. This approach strengthens mortals rather than making them dependent on divine intervention. The Grand Priest family represents the highest level of divine hierarchy below Zeno himself. They enforce cosmic law, train gods of destruction, guide universes toward prosperity, and maintain the structure of reality itself. Their power exceeds almost everything in existence. Their wisdom spans eons. Their purpose defines the relationship between divine and mortal across 12 universes. Without the Grand Priest and his 13 children, the multiverse would collapse into chaos as gods of destruction acted without restraint and universes developed without guidance. The Angel family stands as the pillar, supporting all creation through knowledge, power, and dedication to their role in existence itself. Before we move on, make sure to subscribe if you're enjoying this breakdown. Moving on to Frieza's training gap, how 4 months of ki control broke decades of scaling logic. Frieza's training gap, how 4 months of ki control broke decades of scaling logic. Frieza returns from death with vengeance burning in his mind. Sorbet and Tagoma collect Earth's Dragon Balls and resurrect their former master using Shenron. Shenron revives Frieza. Sorbet's forces reassemble his remains, and a regeneration pod restores his body on their ship. He emerges in first form and immediately declares his intention to find Goku and settle their score once and for all. Sorbet informs Frieza about everything that happened during his absence. Goku defeated Majin Buu. Goku fought against Beerus, the god of destruction, and survived. This information shocks Frieza completely. Frieza references his father's warning not to antagonize Beerus and Majin Buu. Yet Goku matched both and lived through those encounters. Frieza realizes the gap between himself and Goku has grown massive. Charging straight to Earth for revenge would end in disaster again. Then Frieza reveals something extraordinary. He never trained a single day in his entire life. Not once. Not even briefly. He relied solely on his natural-born power from birth. Frieza was born a mutant among his species with abnormally high strength compared to others of his race. His father, King Cold, possessed great power, but Frieza surpassed him without any effort whatsoever. This natural gift made training seem unnecessary. Why work for power when you already possess overwhelming strength? Frieza ruled most of the universe through fear and his incredible abilities without ever needing to improve himself. But now, circumstances changed. Goku trained constantly and reached divine levels of power. Frieza decides that if Saiyans can grow through training, then so can he. More importantly, Frieza believes he possesses massive, untapped potential waiting inside him. All that latent power never got drawn out because he never bothered trying. 4 months of serious training should unlock enough of that dormant strength to match or exceed whatever Goku achieved. Frieza delays his revenge and begins training for the first time ever. The anime and movie show different versions of what happened next. In the movie, Frieza kills Tagoma shortly after resurrection by blasting him into space. In the anime, Tagoma survives and becomes Frieza's unwilling training partner for 4 months. Frieza punishes Tagoma for suggesting he forget revenge and focus on rebuilding the Empire instead. The punishment involves 4 solid months of torture disguised as sparring. Frieza beats Tagoma nearly to death every single day. Then he places Tagoma in a healing chamber overnight. The chamber repairs all damage. The next day, Frieza beats him senseless again. This cycle repeats for 120 consecutive days. In the anime version, Tagoma gains significant power from this brutal routine. His strength increases dramatically from constant near-death recovery cycles. But the torture breaks something inside his mind. Tagoma becomes cruel and sadistic like Frieza himself. He abandons his previous personality completely. Later, when Frieza invades Earth, Tagoma demonstrates power that overwhelms even Piccolo effortlessly. Gotenks only stops him with a surprise attack. The training clearly worked for both participants, despite its horrific nature. In the movie, Tagoma plays no role in the Earth invasion since he died earlier. Frieza achieves his goal within exactly 4 months. He unlocks what he calls his ultimate evolution. This new transformation appears as Golden Frieza. His skin changes from white to brilliant gold. Purple sections mark his head, chest, arms, and legs. His muscles grow larger and more defined than his previous forms. His eyes turn blood red. Golden Frieza represents Frieza drawing out all his latent potential and pushing beyond his previous transformations through intensive training. He names the form Golden Frieza, and its gold coloration parallels the Super Saiyan motif. The power increase defies all logic from previous Dragon Ball events. Frieza overwhelms the out-of-practice Gohan, who cannot contend with Frieza's current power. Piccolo is killed during the invasion, with the movie and anime each staging it slightly differently. When Frieza powers up to his final form, he annihilates waves of his own soldiers with casual blasts and a single surge of energy. Only the strongest survive, standing near him. The fight speed exceeds the Z-Fighters' perception entirely. They cannot follow the movements during combat. Goku arrives having internalized God Ki and fights in his base form before turning Super Saiyan Blue. Final form Frieza, after training, fights evenly with Goku, who has internalized God Ki. They exchange blows at incredible speeds. The fight remains competitive until Goku transforms into Super Saiyan Blue. This new blue-haired form combines Super Saiyan with Godly Ki. Initially, Frieza, in his final form, struggles against Super Saiyan Blue Goku. Then Frieza unveils Golden Frieza. The transformation happens instantly. His entire appearance shifts to gold and purple. His power skyrockets beyond measurement. When Goku transforms into Super Saiyan Blue, Frieza unveils Golden Frieza and briefly dominates until stamina loss sets in. Frieza lands devastating blows. His attacks send Goku flying backward without even making direct contact. The pressure wave alone from Golden Frieza's strikes causes damage. Goku fights at full Super Saiyan Blue power, but cannot match this new Frieza. For a period, Golden Frieza controls the entire battle effortlessly. The training gap becomes staggering when examined. Goku fought on Namek years earlier with power far below his current level. Resurrection F occurs 17 years after Namek. During those 17 years, Goku experienced numerous life-threatening battles. He fought the androids. He trained in the hyperbolic time chamber multiple times. He battled Perfect Cell. He reached Super Saiyan 2. He fought Majin Vegeta. He pushed to Super Saiyan 3. He defeated Kid Buu. He trained with Whis. He achieved Super Saiyan God. He developed Super Saiyan Blue. All of that progression took 17 years minimum, not counting time chamber hours. Frieza accomplishes equivalent progression in 4 months, 120 days total, no time chamber, no near-death power boosts, no magical transformations inherited through biology, just straightforward training with Tagoma as a sparring partner in the anime version. Frieza goes from his Namek-era strength to matching and exceeding Super Saiyan Blue Goku. The progression makes no sense compared to previous Dragon Ball logic. Decades of scaling gets thrown out completely. The explanation provided remains simple. Frieza never trained before, so all his potential sat dormant. His natural mutation gave him incredible baseline power. Training for the first time ever unlocked massive reserves of strength immediately. Like opening a dam that held back an ocean, the water rushes out all at once. Frieza tapped into potential that accumulated across his entire lifetime, unused. 4 months drew out what should have required decades or centuries of normal growth. This justification attempts to make the power jump logical but creates problems. If Frieza possessed this much potential, why did his father warn him about Beerus and Majin Buu? 4 months of training lets Frieza exceed Super Saiyan Blue. A few years of training would presumably make him stronger than Beerus himself. Why fear someone you could surpass with minimal effort? Why destroy the Saiyan race if they pose no threat to your achievable power ceiling? The paranoia about the legendary Super Saiyan makes less sense when Frieza could have trained briefly and eliminated any possible challenge. Additionally, the logic fails when considering Cell. Cell contains Frieza's cells plus Saiyan cells plus Namekian cells. Cell possesses all of Frieza's potential plus everyone else's genetics. By this logic, Cell should gain even more absurd power from brief training since he combines multiple prodigy bloodlines. Yet Cell never displays this ability. He trains in his imperfect form to achieve semi-perfect and perfect forms, but never shows exponential growth from short training periods like Frieza later demonstrates. Golden Frieza dominates until his fatal weakness emerges. Because he did not master the form, Golden Frieza's power bleeds away rapidly, and his output and speed crash mid-fight. Frieza rushed to Earth immediately after achieving his new form. He spent 0 time mastering the transformation. Golden Frieza drains stamina rapidly. The power bleeds away during extended combat. Frieza's movements slow. His attacks weaken. His golden aura flickers. Within minutes, Golden Frieza drops to levels below Super Saiyan Blue. Both Goku and Vegeta notice this weakness and exploit it. Frieza cannot maintain his ultimate power long enough to win decisively. Goku explains that Frieza needed more time training to master Golden Frieza properly. The form itself works perfectly. Frieza simply never practiced holding it. He got impatient and attacked Earth prematurely. If Frieza spent additional months adjusting to Golden Frieza, he could maintain it indefinitely, without stamina drain. But Frieza's arrogance and desire for immediate revenge cost him victory. He achieved godly power but failed through lack of preparation beyond achieving the transformation itself. Vegeta finishes the weakened Golden Frieza easily. Frieza reverts to his final form and begs for mercy. Goku lowers his guard after gaining the upper hand. Sorbet snipes him with a death beam through Goku's chest on Frieza's cue. Goku falls critically wounded. Vegeta eliminates Sorbet instantly. Then Frieza powers up one final time and destroys the entire planet Earth in retaliation. Everyone dies in the explosion, except those Whis shields in a time barrier, including a small group with Beerus, Goku, and Vegeta. Whis rewinds time by 3 minutes using his staff. Goku stands ready when time restarts at the moment before Frieza destroyed Earth. Goku fires a fully charged Kamehameha and obliterates Frieza completely. The Tyrant returns to Hell after his second defeat on Earth, but the scaling damage was already done. Frieza proved that 4 months of training yields results comparable to decades of struggle for other warriors. After dying again, Frieza spends time trapped in a cocoon in Hell, being tormented by cheerful cherubs and fairies. During this imprisonment, Frieza cannot physically train. Instead, he trains mentally. While in Hell, Frieza performs intensive image training and ki control exercises, allowing him to perfect Golden. This mental conditioning over months or years in Hell allows Frieza to master Golden Frieza completely. In the Tournament of Power, he sustains this perfected state without noticeable drain. Frieza demonstrates what he calls true Golden Frieza, or perfected Golden Frieza, depending on the translation. This perfected form maintains full power indefinitely without any stamina drain whatsoever. Frieza can fight for hours in Golden Frieza without weakening. The Tournament of Power shows perfected Golden Frieza, matching warriors like Toph and Dispo. Frieza battles Jiren briefly. He survives elimination longer than almost every other fighter. Eventually, Frieza teams with Goku to eliminate Jiren in a triple knockout that leaves Android 17 as sole survivor. Whis restores Frieza to life at the end of the tournament with Beerus' approval. After Super Shenron restores the erased universes, Frieza returns to life permanently and reclaims leadership of his army. Later in the manga, he trains 10 years in a time chamber under his control, returns as Black Frieza, and floors Ultra Instinct Goku and Ultra Ego Vegeta with single strikes, indicating a new tier beyond their current peaks. This form features black and purple coloring instead of gold. Black Frieza surpasses everyone instantly. Single punches knock out both Ultra Instinct Goku and Ultra Ego Vegeta simultaneously. Neither Saiyan can react or defend. Black Frieza currently stands as portrayed, surpassing Goku and Vegeta after just 10 years of dedicated training following his 4-month awakening. The 4-month training broke Dragon Ball's power scaling permanently. Previously, strength came from life-threatening battles, genetic transformations, or years of dedicated practice. Goku trained under Master Roshi for years. He traveled Snake Way. He trained with King Kai. He pushed his limits against Vegeta, Frieza, the androids, and Cell. He spent years in the hyperbolic time chamber total. He trained with Old Kai. He trained with Whis. Every increase required effort and time. Frieza threw that formula away. 4 months of beating up Tagoma in the anime version unlocked godly power. No special rituals, no mystical training grounds. No life or death battles in the traditional sense, just 4 months of training for someone who never trained before. The latent potential explanation technically works within the story, but damages the foundation of Dragon Ball's progression system. If potential matters more than effort, then training loses meaning. Why struggle for decades when the right person gains everything in months? Toriyama created Golden Frieza specifically to bring Frieza back as a relevant threat. The golden color came because Toriyama could not simplify Frieza's design further. He associated gold with strength and gold medals, so Golden Frieza felt appropriate. The in-universe justification about never training before provided narrative excuse for the massive power jump. But that justification opened doors to scaling problems throughout Dragon Ball Super going forward. Other characters should theoretically achieve similar results. Piccolo eventually gains power boosts later. Gohan achieves new forms. But none match the sheer efficiency of Frieza's 4 months. The training gap remains unique to Frieza and his species' potential. This makes Frieza simultaneously one of Dragon Ball's most dangerous villains and one of its most controversial power scaling decisions. 4 months changed everything about how strength works in Dragon Ball's universe forever. Before we move on, make sure to subscribe if you're enjoying this breakdown. Moving on, we have the Namekian Great Elder's potential unlock and why it capped at inner limits. The Namekian Great Elder's potential unlock and why it capped at inner limits. Grand Elder Guru sits dying on Namek when Krillin arrives seeking a Dragon Ball. Guru senses Krillin's pure heart and good intentions. He decides to help this Earthling. Guru places his hand on Krillin's head and uses his spiritual power to unlock dormant potential hiding inside. Krillin feels energy surge through his body. His power jumps dramatically higher than ever before. Guru explains that this strength existed within Krillin all along. The power was simply sleeping. Now Krillin can access abilities he developed but never tapped into consciously. Krillin asks if Guru can unlock anyone's potential. Guru confirms he can perform this ritual on anyone who possesses inner power waiting to emerge. Krillin immediately thinks of Gohan. He rushes back to bring Gohan for the same treatment. Shortly after Guru performs the ritual on Gohan as well, The young half-Saiyan experiences similar massive increases in strength. Guru later awakened Dende's latent potential, which manifested as a powerful healing ability. Both warriors leave far more powerful than when they arrived. The ritual Guru performs comes from Dragon Clan Namekian spiritual abilities. Dragon Clan members like Guru and later Dende possess special mystical powers beyond combat strength. They create Dragon Balls. They heal injuries. They sense hearts and intentions. Unlocking potential represents another application of their spiritual gifts. Guru specifically uses this ability because he knows Namek faces destruction. Frieza hunts the Dragon Balls to gain immortality. Guru needs warriors strong enough to resist Frieza's army until help arrives. The boost Krillin receives is substantial according to supplementary materials. His power is often cited in guidebooks as roughly 1,500 before and about 13,000 after. That represents nearly 9 times his previous capability unlocked instantly. Gohan experienced even greater gains. His dormant power exceeded Krillin's significantly due to his Saiyan heritage and young age. Children possess more room for growth than adults. Saiyans carry exceptional genetic potential. Half-Saiyans like Gohan combine both advantages. But Guru's unlock carries a specific limitation built into how it functions. The ritual draws out potential that currently exists at that specific moment in time. Guru accesses power the person already developed through their life experiences up to that point. Training builds potential over years. Battle experience adds layers. Physical growth in children creates more capacity. All these factors contribute to dormant power waiting inside. Guru simply brings that accumulated sleeping strength to the surface where the person can use it consciously. This means the unlock does not give infinite power. It does not grant strength beyond what the person could theoretically reach through normal training. It accelerates accessing power they would eventually achieve anyway through years of effort. Think of potential like water in a reservoir. Guru opens the dam and lets existing water flow out. He does not create new water. The reservoir's size depends on how much the person filled it through their life so far. Evidence for this limitation appears throughout the Namek saga. After Guru unlocks their potential, both Krillin and Gohan continue growing stronger through the arc. They fight progressively more difficult opponents. They recover from injuries. Their power keeps increasing beyond the initial unlock. If Guru truly released all possible potential, they should have plateaued immediately. Instead, they keep developing. Gohan in particular displays rage boosts multiple times after Guru's ritual. These emotional power surges tap into hidden reserves. If no hidden reserves remained after the unlock, then rage boosts become impossible. The pattern continues after Namek ends. Krillin trains for the android threat 3 years later. His strength increases substantially from that training. He reaches levels far beyond his Namek peak. This proves the unlock did not cap his growth permanently. Gohan similarly grows much stronger through training with Piccolo and Goku. He achieves Super Saiyan. He reaches Super Saiyan 2 during the Cell Games. Each transformation and training period pushes him further. The Guru unlock gave him a head start but did not define his ceiling forever. Guru was already near death during these events. His life force fades rapidly. This physical limitation likely affects how completely he can draw out someone's power. A younger, healthier Namekian with the same ability might unlock more potential. But Guru near death cannot sustain lengthy, intensive rituals. He does what he can given his condition. Compare this to Old Kai's unlock ability used on Gohan during the Buu saga. Old Kai gained his potential unlock power through accidental Potara fusion with an elderly witch. Her magical abilities merge with his divine Kai powers. The resulting technique far surpasses Guru's simpler ritual. Old Kai's ceremony lasts over a day in Gohan's case. Old Kai sits there performing bizarre dances and chants while Gohan waits patiently. The extended duration allows Old Kai's ritual to dig much deeper than Guru's quick session. Old Kai does not just unlock current potential. His ability draws out all dormant power and then pushes beyond those limits entirely. He accesses strength Gohan has not developed yet. He taps into future potential Gohan would gain through decades of hypothetical training. Then he exceeds even that theoretical ceiling. The result is Ultimate Gohan. This state represents Gohan's absolute maximum possible power without transformations, his full capacity realized and surpassed. After Old Kai's ritual, Gohan fights at his full unlocked power without needing rage spikes. His hidden power is gone because everything is already accessible. He fights at maximum constantly in his base form. This dramatic difference proves Old Kai's technique operates on a fundamentally different level than Guru's. Guru unlocks the present. Old Kai unlocks present, future, and beyond. Guru gives a boost. Old Kai provides transformation into ultimate form. The terminology used around both rituals highlights this distinction. Guru draws out sleeping power or awakens inner strength. The descriptions focus on revealing what already exists dormant. Old Kai releases full potential and draws power beyond its limits. The language explicitly states his ritual exceeds normal boundaries. It is described as taking Gohan far past his limits, in direct quotes. This phrasing never appears for Guru's unlock. One is revelation, the other is transcendence. Another key difference is the permanence and nature of results. Guru's unlock becomes the person's new baseline. Krillin and Gohan do not transform or power up to access it. The strength is simply theirs now, at all times, but they can still train and grow further. The unlock raise their floor without capping their ceiling. Old Kai's ritual also raises the baseline, but additionally provides access to a special state called Ultimate or Potential Unleashed. Gohan can power up into this state without a separate Super Saiyan transformation. In this state, he surpasses Super Saiyan 2 and 3 without the stamina drain of those forms. Gohan initially struggles to maintain his ultimate state in Resurrection F and early Dragon Ball Super. He stopped training for years, focusing on scholarly pursuits. His power deteriorated badly. He could barely manage Super Saiyan, let alone Ultimate. This shows even Old Kai's ritual requires maintenance through continued training. The potential gets unlocked, but atrophy from laziness weakens the overall power level. After resuming training with Piccolo, Gohan regains full access to his ultimate state and pushes it even further during the Tournament of Power. The mechanics behind potential in Dragon Ball follow specific rules. Every person has capacity for growth built into them through genetics, life experiences, and training. This capacity exists as possibility rather than active reality. Most people cannot consciously access their full capacity. Mental blocks, physical limitations, lack of training knowledge, and simple ignorance prevent reaching true potential. Unlocking rituals bypass these restrictions and give direct access to that capacity. But capacity itself is not infinite or unlimited. Goku demonstrates this through his training journey. He reaches apparent limits multiple times. His base form hits walls that only transformation can surpass. Super Saiyan becomes necessary because his base cannot grow enough to beat Frieza naturally. Super Saiyan 2 and 3 emerge because Super Saiyan 1 alone cannot handle Cell or Buu. Each transformation represents breaking through a ceiling in base capacity. Super Saiyan God and Blue later show even transformation potential has limits requiring Divine Ki to transcend. This means unlocking potential cannot grant infinite strength. The ritual draws from existing capacity. If capacity itself is limited, then unlocked power must also be limited. The limits depend on multiple factors. Genetic heritage determines baseline potential. Saiyans have higher ceilings than humans. Hybrids combine advantages from both parents, often exceeding pure bloodlines. Age matters significantly. Children have undeveloped capacity that grows as they mature. Adults have less room for expansion. Training history creates capacity. Someone who trains intensely for years has more developed potential than someone lazy. Krillin, at the time Guru unlocks him, is a fully grown adult human. He trained under Master Roshi and later with the Z fighters on Earth before heading to Namek. He participated in world martial arts tournaments. He fought Nappa and Vegeta. All these experiences built capacity within him, but humans inherently have lower potential ceilings than Saiyans. Krillin already used significant portions of his capacity, just surviving to reach Namek. Guru unlocks what Krillin built up through decades of training and near-death battles. But because Krillin is human and adult, his ceiling is relatively modest compared to others. Gohan, by contrast, is a 5-year-old half-Saiyan hybrid child. He has Goku's incredible Saiyan genetics. He has extraordinary latent power, even as toddler shown multiple times. He is still growing and developing. His capacity is massive and largely untapped because of his age. When Guru unlocks Gohan's potential, he accesses a far larger reservoir than with Krillin. But even that enormous boost only represents what Gohan developed through his short life so far. The ritual cannot grant Gohan power he would gain at age 15 through years of training. It cannot predict future growth. It works with present accumulated capacity only. This explains why Gohan keeps getting dramatically stronger after the unlock. Each battle on Namek pushes his young developing potential further. His Saiyan biology responds to combat stress by expanding capacity rapidly. The potential Guru unlocked is used up through fighting. New potential develops to replace it. By the time he reaches Old Kai years later, Gohan's capacity expanded enormously through maturation, training, and countless battles. Old Kai has vastly more potential to work with than Guru did. Plus, Old Kai's superior technique can extract and exceed even that expanded capacity. The practical application of Guru's unlock shows its limits clearly. Krillin, after his unlock, cannot suddenly defeat Frieza's top elites. He remains vastly weaker than the Ginyu Force. Captain Ginyu would kill him easily. First form Frieza outclasses him completely. The unlock made Krillin stronger than Frieza's common soldiers. He can handle low-level threats. But against serious power, he still needs help. This makes sense if the unlock only drew out Krillin's current capacity. Humans simply do not possess enough innate potential to challenge cosmic tyrants, even with full unlocking. Gohan fares better due to Saiyan heritage and youth. After his unlock, he can fight Ginyu Force members. He assists against Rikum. He participates in the fight against Frieza directly. But Gohan also cannot compete with Frieza's true power. He helps but cannot win alone. His unlocked potential exceeds Krillin's substantially but still falls short of defeating galactic-level threats. If Guru's unlock truly granted infinite or ultimate power, Gohan should stomp Frieza easily. Instead, he remains massively outmatched. This shows the unlock has definite limits based on Gohan's current capacity at age 5. Guru never claims his ritual gives ultimate power. He says the power has been within you all along. This phrasing emphasizes revealing existing hidden strength. He says, if they have the power within them, then it is possible. This statement explicitly limits the ritual to what already exists internally. Guru cannot unlock potential someone does not possess. He cannot create power from nothing. The person must already have dormant strength built through their life experiences. Guru simply makes that strength accessible. Old Kai, by contrast, makes grandiose claims about his ritual. He states it will draw out all of your dormant power, and more. The and more is crucial. He does not stop at current capacity. His technique goes beyond natural limits. He says Gohan will reach your full power and far past its limits. These are contradictory statements intentionally. Full power implies a ceiling. Past limits means exceeding that ceiling. Old Kai's ritual does both. It reaches the ceiling, then smashes through it. The time investment difference makes sense given this distinction. Guru's ritual is quick because he only accesses existing power. Finding and releasing dormant strength takes minutes once Guru identifies where it hides. Old Kai's ritual takes extended time because he must do vastly more work. First, he unlocks existing potential like Guru does. Then he must pull future potential into the present. Then he must artificially expand capacity beyond natural limits. Each step requires time and magical energy. The lengthy, bizarre dance and ritual serve as extended focus for this complex multi-stage process. Both rituals provide permanent benefits to the recipient's base form. The person does not need to activate or maintain the unlocked power. It becomes their new natural state. This differs from transformations like Super Saiyan, which require active effort to trigger and maintain. Krillin and Gohan, after Guru's unlock, are simply stronger at all times. Gohan, after Old Kai's unlock, has higher base power permanently plus access to his ultimate state. Neither ritual is temporary or reversible. The potential stays unlocked forever. However, neither ritual prevents future growth through training. This is critical to understand. Unlocking potential does not mean stopping growth. It means accessing current accumulated potential immediately rather than gradually through training. After the unlock, the person can still train and build new potential. That new potential then becomes accessible immediately instead of remaining dormant. In some ways, the unlock accelerates future growth by removing the barrier between developing capacity and accessing capacity. Krillin continues improving for years after Namek. Gohan reaches heights Guru could never imagine during the ritual. The unlock launched them forward but did not define their endpoint. The distinction between Guru and Old Kai's methods reveals important truths about potential in Dragon Ball. Potential is not a single fixed amount. It grows and changes throughout life. Young people have more potential because they have more life ahead to build capacity. Training and battle experience creates potential rather than merely revealing it. Potential has natural limits based on genetics and biology that can only be transcended through special means like transformation or magical rituals. Different techniques for unlocking potential access different amounts and types of power. Guru's ritual represents the baseline for potential unlocking, quick, simple, effective within its limits. It gives people a significant power boost by removing mental and physical blocks, preventing full access to current strength. For fighters like Krillin and Gohan on Namek, this boost is exactly what they needed. It brought them from helpless weaklings to viable contributors in the battle for survival. But it was never meant to create ultimate warriors, just to help good people defend themselves against evil. Old Kai's ritual represents the advanced version, slow, complex, capable of transcendent results. It not only unlocks but actively expands and multiplies potential beyond natural limits. For someone like Gohan with already ridiculous natural potential, the multiplying effect creates absurd power. Old Kai takes Gohan from strong to potentially the most powerful non-fused character in the universe at that moment, but this requires extended time compared to Guru's minutes. Both have their place depending on circumstances and needs. The cap at inner limits for Guru's unlock is not a weakness. It is simply the nature of that particular technique. Guru never promises unlimited power. He never claims to transcend limits. He helps people reach their current full strength. That is incredibly valuable, even if it does not grant godhood. Sometimes people need a boost to survive immediate threats. Guru provides that boost perfectly. Sometimes people need ultimate power to save existence itself. Old Kai provides that instead. Different tools for different purposes. both legitimate and useful in their own context. The limits exist because drawing out what currently exists inherently cannot exceed what exists. Simple but important distinction in Dragon Ball's complex power systems. Before we move on, make sure to subscribe if you're enjoying this breakdown. Moving on to God Ki versus Mortal Ki. Why divine energy resists sensing and nullifies scouters? God Ki versus Mortal Ki. Why divine energy resists sensing and nullifies scouters? Dragon Ball introduced many power systems over its decades-long run. Characters grew stronger through training. They learned new techniques. They pushed past limits. But when Dragon Ball Super arrived in 2015, adapting the 2013 movie Battle of Gods, fans witnessed something completely different. A new type of energy emerged that changed everything viewers thought they knew about power in this universe. This energy was God Ki. God Ki works nothing like the regular Ki that Goku and his friends spent years mastering. The difference between these two energy types runs so deep that it affects how characters sense each other, how they fight, and even how technology interacts with them. Regular Ki flows through every living being. Humans have it, Saiyans have it, Namekians have it, even weak characters possess some amount of this life force energy, but God Ki belongs exclusively to divine beings. Gods of destruction wield it. Angels use it, Supreme Kais possess it. For mortals to obtain God Ki requires either special rituals or intense training under divine teachers. The most fundamental difference between God Ki and Mortal Ki shows up in sensing. Every Dragon Ball fan knows that skilled fighters can sense energy. Goku learned this technique from his training. He uses it constantly to locate friends, detect enemies, and measure power levels. When someone powers up with regular Ki, trained fighters feel it immediately. They know exactly where that person stands and roughly how strong they are. But God Ki breaks these rules completely. When someone uses God Ki, mortals cannot sense them at all. During the Battle of Gods arc, this fact stunned everyone watching. Goku transformed into Super Saiyan God for the first time. His hair turned bright red, his body became slimmer, his aura changed to a tranquil, flame-like appearance, completely different from the wild, jagged auras of normal transformations. Gohan stood on the cruise ship below, trying desperately to sense his father's energy. He felt nothing. Piccolo, one of the most skilled Ki sensors alive, detected nothing. Krillin sensed nothing. Whis explained to the confused spectators that only deities can sense God Ki. For everyone else, Goku simply vanished from their awareness. This inability to sense God Ki creates massive tactical advantages. Imagine fighting an opponent you literally cannot detect. Regular fighters telegraph their movements through their energy. When someone powers up for a big attack, everyone feels it coming. God Ki users suffer no such limitation. They become invisible to standard sensing techniques. An enemy using only Mortal Ki cannot track their location accurately. They cannot predict attacks. They cannot measure their opponent's power level at all. But Mortal Ki users do notice something. While they cannot sense God Ki directly, they feel overwhelming pressure when near someone using it. This pressure feels different from normal energy sensing. Vegeta described it during his early encounters with Beerus. He felt immense, crushing pressure but could not actually sense Beerus's power. The pressure alone terrified him because he had no way to measure how strong Beerus truly was. Future Trunks experienced the same phenomenon when Vegeta transformed into Super Saiyan Blue. He could not sense his father's God Ki, but the pressure radiating from that form felt absolutely tremendous. This pressure aspect makes God Ki incredibly difficult to control at first. Goku noted this himself when he started training with the form. Using an energy you cannot sense feels like trying to write with invisible ink using an invisible pen. You feel the pen in your hand. You know you are writing something, but you cannot see what you create until after you finish. For fighters who spent their entire lives relying on Ki sensing to control their power, God Ki presents an enormous challenge. They must learn to master an energy they fundamentally cannot detect in themselves. Scouters face the same problem that Mortal Ki sensors do. These technological devices served as a major plot element in early Dragon Ball Z. Frieza's army used scouters to measure power levels accurately. The devices displayed exact numbers showing how strong someone was. When Raditz arrived on Earth, his scouter immediately detected Piccolo's power level. Later models could even pinpoint locations. But scouters completely fail against God Ki. In Dragon Ball Xenoverse, Frieza explicitly mentions that his scouters cannot read God Ki at all. The devices simply do not register divine energy. Dragon Ball FighterZ confirmed this limitation when Android 16 stated his power radar cannot detect Super Saiyan Blue, Goku, or Vegeta. These mechanical detection systems work the same way organic Ki sensing does. They measure the energy wavelength that Mortal Ki produces. God Ki operates on a completely different wavelength that these systems were never designed to detect. This technological limitation means that even races like Frieza's, who historically relied on scouters because they could not sense energy naturally, gain no advantage against God Ki users. The technology offers zero help. Scouters might display error messages, they might show nothing at all, but they definitely cannot measure divine power. For military forces that built their entire tactical approach around these devices, God Key users become invisible threats. The actual mechanism behind God Key explains why mortals and machines struggle to detect it. God Key requires perfect containment. While training with Whis and his staff's special dimension, Vegeta discovered the secret. To achieve God Key, a fighter must power up while keeping their energy completely inside their body. They cannot let it leak out as a visible aura. Regular Key users power up by releasing energy outward. Their auras flare dramatically. Energy radiates from them in all directions. This leaking energy creates the signal that others sense. God Key works oppositely. Users seal all their power within themselves. Nothing leaks out for others to detect. This containment changes the fundamental nature of the energy. When Goku and Vegeta first sparred together while successfully containing their Ki, blue energy suddenly appeared around them. This marked their first successful use of the technique that would eventually become Super Saiyan Blue. By combining perfect Ki control with Super Saiyan transformation, they created a godly form far beyond their previous limits. The appearance of God Ki differs dramatically from mortal Ki. Regular Ki auras look erratic and violent, energy crackles wildly, electricity-like effects spark around the user. The whole display feels aggressive and barely controlled. God Ki presents a tranquil, flame-like appearance instead. The energy flows smoothly. It moves with grace and control. Gods of Destruction use purple God Ki. Saiyan God Ki appears red or blue. A Saiyan of true divine origin like Goku, black displays pink God Ki. Despite these color differences, all God Ki shares that same calm, controlled appearance. This visual difference reflects the mental state required to use God Ki. Whis taught Goku and Vegeta that achieving divine energy requires clearing unnecessary thoughts from the mind. Think of a perfectly still pond without any ripples. That mental state, combined with intense physical training to increase stamina, allows mortals to convert their regular Ki into God Ki. The more someone controls their thoughts while training their body, the more effectively they can produce divine energy. Gods of destruction like Beerus exist in this mental state constantly. Their minds stay focused on destruction at all times. This permanent mental state keeps them constantly operating at divine levels. Angels like Whis maintain an even more refined version. They exist perpetually in the ultra instinct state, where their bodies move and react independently of conscious thought. These divine beings set the standard that mortals like Goku and Vegeta strive toward through their training. Obtaining God Ki as a mortal requires tremendous effort. Goku first achieved it through the Super Saiyan God ritual. This ancient ceremony needed 5 pure-hearted Saiyans to channel their energy into a 6th Saiyan. Vegeta, Gohan, Goten, Trunks, and even Vidal's unborn child provided the necessary energy. The ritual transformed Goku into Super Saiyan God, granting him temporary access to divine power. His hair turned red, his body became younger looking and slimmer. Most importantly, his energy completely changed to God Ki. That transformation allowed Goku to fight evenly against Beerus, whereas his Super Saiyan 3 form got completely destroyed moments earlier. The power boost from merely obtaining God Ki proved extraordinary. Beerus easily defeated Super Saiyan 3 Goku without even trying. Super Saiyan God Goku actually forced Beerus to fight seriously. That massive power gap demonstrated how much stronger God Ki makes its users compared to even the highest levels of mortal power. Vegeta obtained God Ki through different means. He trained directly under Whis for months. Through this training, he learned the technique of containing his Ki inside his body. He mastered the mental discipline required. He built up the physical stamina necessary to handle divine energy. Unlike Goku's ritual-based transformation, Vegeta earned God Ki through pure hard work and instruction. Both methods proved effective. Both granted access to the same divine power. The introduction of God Ki created a clear hierarchy in Dragon Ball's power structure. Mortals with regular Ki sit at the bottom. Strong mortals with exceptional regular Ki can rival lower-level divine beings. Mortals who obtain God Ki jump significantly higher. Full deities with natural God Ki rank even higher. Gods of destruction represent near the top. Angels stand above everyone except perhaps the Omni Kings. This hierarchy helps explain why Beerus dominated so completely when he first appeared. His divine energy placed him in a category completely beyond mortal comprehension. However, exceptions exist to every rule about God Ki. Certain mortals can sense divine energy despite not possessing it themselves. The assassin hit demonstrated this ability. He sensed Goku's power when Goku used Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken, detecting the multiplying God Ki despite having no divine power himself. Jiren also proved capable of sensing God Ki, as shown when he noticed Toph powering up into God of Destruction mode. These exceptions suggest that mortals who reach certain power thresholds can overcome the normal limitations. Dende represents another exception. As guardian of Earth, he can sense God Ki, despite being a Namekian rather than a true deity. This implies that the position of guardian grants certain abilities that transcend normal mortal limitations. Kami before him likely possessed the same capability. The role itself carries divine authority that bridges the gap between mortal and God. After training specifically to sense God Ki, even regular mortals can learn the technique. Goku gained the ability to sense divine energy after temporarily becoming Super Saiyan God. Once he experienced God Ki firsthand, he could detect it in others. Vegeta developed the same ability through his training with Whis. The ability to sense God Ki does not require actually using it. Sufficient training and exposure allow mortals to perceive divine energy, even while using regular Ki themselves. Frieza demonstrated this principle perfectly. During his 4 months of training before returning to Earth, he developed the ability to sense God Ki. When he fought Super Saiyan Blue Goku, Frieza could sense his opponent's power accurately. He even compared it to his own Golden Frieza form's energy. Frieza achieved this breakthrough despite his race historically being unable to sense any Ki without scouters. His intense training overcame those natural limitations. The inability of mortals and their technology to sense or measure God Ki creates a perfect defensive system for divine beings. This divine energy resists normal detection methods completely. It nullifies scouter technology, absolutely. Only those with divine power, special positions, exceptional strength, or specific training can overcome this limitation. For everyone else, God Ki users become invisible forces that cannot be tracked, measured, or predicted through normal means. This defensive aspect works alongside God Ki's offensive advantages. The energy itself grants tremendous power boosts. Users become exponentially stronger than their previous forms. But the inability of opponents to sense that power creates additional tactical benefits. Enemies cannot gauge how much strength remains. They cannot detect power-ups coming. They fight essentially blind against an opponent they cannot measure. Combined with the raw power increase, these factors make God Ki users overwhelmingly superior to regular Ki users at similar base power levels. Understanding the difference between God Ki and Mortal Ki helps explain many moments throughout Dragon Ball Super. When characters cannot sense Goku or Vegeta in their godly forms, that represents accurate mechanics of the energy system. When scouters fail against divine opponents, that reflects the technological limitations against God Ki. When mortals feel crushing pressure but cannot actually sense power levels, that demonstrates the unique properties of divine energy. Every one of these moments follows consistent rules about how God Ki functions in this universe. The introduction of God Ki fundamentally changed Dragon Ball's power system. Before Battle of Gods, everything ran on regular Ki. Training made you stronger, transformations multiplied that strength, but the energy itself remained basically the same. God Ki created an entirely new category of power with different rules, different detection requirements, and different visual characteristics. This divine energy elevated certain characters into a realm completely beyond normal mortal limits. It created a clear separation between earthly power and divine authority. And it did so through one simple mechanism that regular mortals and their machines cannot overcome. God Ki exists on a wavelength that mortal detection methods simply cannot register. Before we move on, make sure to subscribe if you're enjoying this breakdown. Moving on to Bardock's Wish in the Granola arc and the Fate Shift on Goku. Bardock's Wish in the Granola arc and the Fate Shift on Goku. The Dragon Ball Super manga's Granola the Survivor arc revealed a shocking moment from the past that changed how fans viewed Goku's entire journey. 40 years before the current story, Goku's father Bardock made a wish on the Cerealian Dragon Balls. This wish potentially altered the fate of his two sons, Goku and Raditz. The revelation sparked massive debate among Dragon Ball fans about whether this undermined everything Goku accomplished through his own effort. The backstory unfolds during a flashback in Chapter 83 of Dragon Ball Super. Goku and Vegeta found themselves battling Gas, the strongest member of the Heater crime family. Gas proved overwhelmingly powerful because his brother Elec wished him to be the strongest in the universe using the Cerealian Dragon Balls. During this desperate fight, an old Namekian named Monaito revealed crucial information. He possessed a broken scouter that recorded audio from 40 years earlier. That recording contained the voice of Bardock during his own battle against a young Gas on planet Cereal. Goku listened to this recording through a device Monaito's companion Oatmeal played for him. The audio captured Bardock's fight when he was still a low-class Saiyan warrior working for Frieza's army. Bardock arrived on planet Cereal as part of the genocide operation the Saiyans conducted for Frieza. However, Bardock broke ranks. He chose to protect Monaito and the infant Granola from Gas and the Heaters instead of following orders. This decision forced Bardock into a brutal one-on-one battle against the young Gas. Gas possessed frightening powers even back then. He could manifest any weapon he imagined. Energy spears, maces, and countless other tools appeared from thin air during the fight. Gas pushed Bardock to his absolute limits. The Saiyan warrior took a brutal beating. His body accumulated severe injuries. Blood poured from multiple wounds. Gas clearly had the upper hand in almost every exchange. Monaito watched in horror as Bardock continued fighting despite the overwhelming disadvantage. Desperate to help Bardock, Monaito made a decision. He scrambled to retrieve the 2 Dragon Balls in his possession. Namekians consider using Dragon Balls for selfish purposes forbidden. However, Monaito reasoned that using them to help someone from another planet might be acceptable. He gathered the 2 spheres and summoned Toronbo, the eternal dragon of planet Serial. The sky turned black. The massive dragon appeared in the distance, visible even from the battlefield where Bardock fought Gas. Toronbo immediately prepared to grant Monaito's first wish. Monaito wanted to send Bardock back to planet Vegeta instantly. This teleportation would save Bardock from almost certain death at Gas's hands. The dragon reached out telepathically to Bardock to confirm the wish. Bardock suddenly heard an unfamiliar voice speaking directly into his mind. Toronbo explained he was a dragon that grants wishes. He informed Bardock that Monaito requested his immediate transport back to planet Vegeta. Bardock's response shocked both Monaito and the dragon. He flatly refused. Saiyan pride would not allow him to flee from battle. Bardock declared that Saiyans would rather die than run from an enemy. He immediately resumed fighting Gas without accepting the offer of escape. This forced Monaito to reconsider his approach. The old Namekian contacted Bardock telepathically, pleading with him to reconsider. Monaito argued that the kindness Bardock showed today might save someone else in the future. Therefore, Bardock must live to see that day arrive. Bardock remained unmoved. He refused to leave until he won this fight. His Saiyan nature demanded nothing less than complete victory. Monaito realized he could not change Bardock's mind about fleeing, so he asked a different question. Did Bardock have any other wish the dragon could grant right now? Something that would help him without forcing him to abandon the battle? Bardock thought for a moment. He wondered aloud if Monaito was asking a shooting star to grant wishes, showing he had not actually seen the dragon yet. Then Bardock gave his answer. His exact words in the official English translation were simple and direct. He said to Monaito through their telepathic link, "I'd wish that my sons end up thriving." The original Japanese phrasing essentially meant, "May my sons grow up well," or "I wish them well." This referred to both his sons. Bardock and his wife Gine had 2 children. The elder son was named Raditz. The younger son, still an infant in a growth tank back on planet Vegeta, was named Kakarot. That infant would later become known as Goku after landing on Earth. The manga never explicitly shows whether Monaito actually made this wish to Toronbo. Readers never see the dragon acknowledge the request. The scene cuts away from the wish-making moment. In the distance, Elec and his siblings, Maki and Oil, notice strange lights in the sky. The Dragon Balls scattered after a wish was granted, splitting into 2 and flying away in different directions. The Heaters saw this happen but did not understand what they witnessed. They mistook the Dragon Balls for shooting stars at the time. This ambiguity became crucial to understanding the wish. Fans debated endlessly whether Toronbo actually granted Bardock's request or not. The manga provides clues pointing both directions. Monaito seemed prepared to make the wish after hearing Bardock's words. He commented that wishes should create hope for the future, while selfish wishes only bring doom. This suggested Monaito approved of Bardock's selfless wish for his sons. The Dragon Balls clearly dispersed as they do after granting a wish. However, the manga never shows Toronbo speaking the traditional words confirming the wish was granted. After stating his wish, Bardock continued fighting Gas with renewed determination. Gas unleashed more of his inner nature, dramatically increasing his power. He grabbed Bardock's tail and used it to slam the Saiyan around violently. Then Gas ripped Bardock's tail completely off. Without his tail, Bardock lost access to the Great Ape transformation. Gas created an energy spear to finish the wounded Saiyan. Monaito threw himself in front of the attack, taking the hit meant for Bardock. This sacrifice bought Bardock precious moments to recover. Gas became furious with Monaito's intervention. He unleashed his full instincts, attacking with everything he possessed. He knocked Monaito away and grabbed Bardock by the face. Gas vowed to kill both Monaito and Baby Granola after finishing with Bardock. But something changed in that moment. Bardock broke free from Gas's grip. He started fighting back harder than before. Gas demanded to know what pushed Bardock so far. Did guilt over the Saiyans' genocide fuel his power? Did rage over what happened to the Namekians and Cerealians drive him? Bardock's answer revealed the pure simplicity of Saiyan battle philosophy. In a life-and-death battle, what sort of idiot would think of anything besides victory? Bardock fought because he wanted to win. Nothing else mattered. No complex emotions, no deeper meaning, just the pure desire for victory. This mental clarity unlocked something within him. Bardock's power surged dramatically. He punched Gas hard in the stomach. He blasted the young Heater away with a massive energy attack. Gas could not comprehend how Bardock ascended to this level. Bardock explained that Saiyans possess a way to evolve every time they push past their limits. A powerful aura enveloped him as he achieved a new level of strength. Bardock defeated Gas in that moment. The young Heater reverted to his childlike form and fainted. Elec arrived and found his brother defeated. He taunted Bardock about Frieza's plans for the Saiyans and their planet. Then Elec shot Bardock with a laser gun, wounding him further. Bardock managed to dodge the killing shot but injured his arm in the process. Frieza's ship arrived at that moment. Elec left Bardock to his injuries. Monito congratulated Bardock for winning the battle. Bardock eventually left Planet Cereal to return home. However, he left his damaged scouter behind with Monito. That scouter continued recording audio long after Bardock departed. 40 years later, that same scouter provided Goku with knowledge of his father's heroism. Hearing Bardock's voice awakened deep, repressed memories within Goku. He suddenly recalled moments from when he was still an infant named Kakarot. He remembered seeing Bardock arrive home wounded from the Planet Cereal mission. He remembered his mother Gine and her everyday life. Most importantly, he remembered the moment his parents took him out of the growth tank. Bardock and Gine sent their infant son away from planet Vegeta in a space pod. They told him to stay alive. Those same words Bardock spoke to Monito and Granola on Planet Cereal echoed in his final message to his son. This revelation hit Goku hard. He came to a solemn realization about Saiyan pride. He finally understood what it truly meant to be a Saiyan. However, this understanding came with doubt. Remembering his father's face also made Goku question his own strength. He lost faith in whether his power came purely from his own effort. Vegeta experienced similar thoughts. He realized he too had lost sight of the burden of his people's pride that he placed on himself long ago. What they needed to preserve was not the Saiyans' sins. They needed to preserve Saiyan pride. Then Vegeta made a crucial statement about Bardock's wish. He realized with further annoyance that Goku and Raditz survived the destruction of planet Vegeta into adulthood, at least partially due to the wish Bardock made on the Dragon Balls. This marked the first time the manga confirmed that Bardock's wish actually had some effect. Vegeta clearly believed the wish played a role in the brothers' survival. He complained that he did not think it fair how Goku and Raditz survived thanks to the Dragon Balls. Goku responded that it was not his fault, Bardock made that wish. Vegeta accused Goku of being spoiled too much thanks to that wish. Goku countered that Vegeta spoils his daughter Bulla. Vegeta angrily insisted that was totally different. This exchange revealed important information about what Bardock's wish actually did. According to Vegeta's understanding, the wish ensured Goku and Raditz survived planet Vegeta's destruction. It gave them the chance to thrive in the future. The wish did not make them supernaturally strong. It did not grant them permanent protection from all harm. It simply helped them escape the genocide that killed nearly every other Saiyan. This interpretation made sense when examining how each brother survived. Goku's parents sent him to Earth in a space pod just before Frieza destroyed their homeworld. Bardock had a premonition that something terrible was coming. He felt an unexplained urge to get Kakarot off the planet. Dragon Ball Minus and the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie established this sequence of events. The wish potentially influenced Bardock's intuition, pushing him to save his son at the crucial moment. Without that subtle push, Bardock might have ignored his feelings and left Kakarot in the growth tank. Raditz survived differently. He was away on a mission with Vegeta and Nappa when Frieza destroyed planet Vegeta. The manga and anime established this fact decades ago. Raditz tagged along with Prince Vegeta's unit during their planetary conquest operations. Pure chance placed him off-world during the genocide. Or perhaps the wish influenced events so Raditz would be assigned to that mission at that specific time. The wish potentially arranged circumstances so both brothers would be away from planet Vegeta when destruction came. However, the wish clearly had limitations. Both Goku and Raditz died during the early events of Dragon Ball Z. Piccolo killed both brothers simultaneously with his special beam cannon during their battle on Earth. Raditz grabbed Goku in a full Nelson hold. Piccolo fired his attack straight through both brothers. Raditz died permanently. Goku died but came back through the Dragon Balls. If Bardock's wish granted permanent protection, neither brother would have died at all. This proved the wish had a time limit or specific conditions. The most logical interpretation suggests the wish only applied to their childhood and young adulthood. It ensured they survived long enough to grow into strong adults. Raditz lived approximately 30 years after planet Vegeta's destruction. He grew up, completed countless missions for Frieza, and became a full-fledged adult Saiyan warrior. Goku lived slightly less time, but also reached adulthood, trained under multiple masters, fought numerous battles, and started a family. Both brothers achieved the basic goal of growing up well. The wish fulfilled its purpose once they both survived into adulthood. Raditz's life and death became even more tragic in light of this wish. Bardock wished for both his sons to thrive. Goku absolutely thrived in every sense. He became Earth's greatest hero. He saved the planet countless times. He defeated Frieza, Cell, and Majin Buu. He reached power levels rivaling gods and angels. By any measure, Goku's life exemplified thriving. Raditz experienced the opposite. He lived as a low-class warrior under Frieza's brutal rule. He never became particularly strong compared to other Saiyans. Vegeta and Nappa barely tolerated him. They considered him weak and pathetic. When Raditz died on Earth, neither surviving Saiyan cared enough to wish him back. This disparity confused many fans initially. How could a wish for both sons to thrive only work for one? However, the answer lies in how each brother lived. Goku landed on Earth and hit his head as an infant. This injury erased his Saiyan programming. He forgot his mission to conquer Earth. Instead, Grandpa Gohan raised him with kindness and taught him martial arts. Goku grew up surrounded by friends. He trained under Master Roshi, Korin, Kami, and King Kai. He constantly pushed himself to new heights through hard work and determination. His environment and choices allowed him to truly thrive. Raditz had no such advantages. He grew up in Frieza's army, surrounded by cruelty and violence. He never escaped the toxic Saiyan culture of conquest and destruction. He never found good mentors or true friends. He never experienced the kind of positive relationships that shaped Goku's character. The wish gave both brothers the opportunity to thrive by ensuring their survival. However, only Goku took advantage of that opportunity. Raditz wasted his chance by remaining in Frieza's service and continuing down a dark path. When he died fighting Goku and Piccolo, he threw away the possibility of redemption Bardock's wish provided. Monaito himself hinted at this interpretation. When he heard Bardock's wish, Monaito commented on the nature of wishes. He said wishes create hope for the future. Selfish wishes can only bring doom. If the wisher's intentions affect outcomes, perhaps the recipient's intentions matter too. Goku's pure heart and good intentions allowed Bardock's wish to help him thrive. Raditz's negative and selfish intentions brought about his doom despite his father's wish. The wish provided the chance. Each brother's choices determined the result. The debate over whether this wish undermined Goku's achievements raged throughout the Dragon Ball community. Some fans argued it ruined everything. They believed Goku no longer earned his success through hard work alone. Instead, mystic forces guided him all along. Every lucky break suddenly seemed predetermined. The 4-star Dragon Ball protecting him from Tao Pai Pai's attack, surviving the ultra-divine water, escaping Namek before it exploded, finding a Frieza Force spaceship at the perfect moment. All these fortunate moments could be attributed to Bardock's wish, rather than simple luck or Goku's own merit. Other fans took the opposite view. They argued the wish changed nothing fundamental about Goku's character or journey. The wish only ensured basic survival during childhood. Everything Goku accomplished afterward came from his own training, determination, and choices. The wish did not make him strong. It did not teach him techniques. It did not fight his battles for him. Goku still trained harder than anyone. He still made the crucial decisions that saved Earth multiple times. The wish simply gave him the chance to do these things by ensuring he survived Planet Vegeta's destruction. Vegeta's reaction in the manga supported the latter interpretation. He complained about the wish, but never suggested it made Goku artificially strong. He only mentioned it ensured survival. When Vegeta accused Goku of being spoiled by the wish, Goku defended himself by pointing out Vegeta spoils his daughter. This exchange treated the wish like parental protection rather than supernatural enhancement. Parents want their children to survive and thrive. Bardock used the Dragon Balls to ensure his sons had that chance. Nothing about the wish contradicted the effort Goku put into becoming strong. The ambiguity surrounding whether the wish was actually granted provided an important escape hatch. Fans uncomfortable with the implications could argue Monaito never made the wish. Perhaps he dismissed Toranbo after hearing Bardock's request. Maybe he decided to save the wish for a more urgent need. The Dragon Balls scattered, but that might have happened because Monaito canceled the summon rather than making a wish. The manga deliberately left this unclear. Vegeta said the wish helped them survive, but Vegeta only learned about it from the Scouter recording. He assumed the wish was granted based on the circumstances. He had no direct confirmation. This wish revelation served multiple narrative purposes in the Granola arc. First, it connected Goku personally to the flashback storyline. Learning about his father's heroism motivated Goku during his battle with Gas. Second, it provided an in-universe explanation for the coincidence of Goku and Raditz both surviving among the handful of Saiyans who escaped destruction. Third, it added depth to Bardock's characterization. Traditional Saiyan fathers cared nothing for their children beyond battle power. Bardock caring enough to use his one wish on his sons showed his fundamental difference from typical Saiyans. Fourth, it explored the theme of fate versus free will that Dragon Ball frequently examined. Did the wish predetermine Goku's success, or did it merely open doors Goku chose to walk through? The manga suggested the latter. Goku's achievements remained his own despite any help from his father's wish. Finally, it reinforced the importance of Saiyan pride as a concept separate from Saiyan sins. Bardock showed pride by protecting the weak and wishing for his son's future. Goku and Vegeta needed to embrace that kind of pride rather than carrying the burden of their race's genocidal past. Whether fans loved or hated this revelation, it undeniably changed how the Dragon Ball community viewed Goku's origin. Bardock's wish on the Cerealian Dragon Balls became a permanent part of Goku's backstory. It explained mysteries about his survival. It added emotional weight to Bardock and Guinea's decision to send their infant son to Earth. Most importantly, it revealed that even before Goku left Planet Vegeta, his father used the very item the series was named after to give him a chance at life. The Dragon Balls shaped Goku's fate before he ever found the 4-star ball in Grandpa Gohan's possession. Before we move on, make sure to subscribe if you're enjoying this breakdown. Moving on, we have Ultra Ego as Vegeta's God of Destruction Path and Damage-Powered Growth. Ultra Ego as Vegeta's God of Destruction Path and Damage-Powered Growth. Dragon Ball Super introduced two completely opposite divine transformations for its main Saiyan warriors. Goku mastered Ultra Instinct, drawing on angelic power and perfect defensive technique. Vegeta walked a different path entirely. He trained under Beerus, the God of Destruction, and unlocked Ultra Ego. This transformation represented everything Vegeta stood for as a warrior. Where Ultra Instinct required calm and avoided damage, Ultra Ego thrived on battle lust and actually grew stronger from taking hits. The journey toward Ultra Ego began during the Granola the Survivor arc. This storyline started in Chapter 67 of the Dragon Ball Super manga. Goku and Vegeta returned to Beerus' planet after their previous adventures. They needed to continue their training under the divine beings who had become their mentors. Whis continued instructing Goku in the finer points of Ultra Instinct. However, Vegeta realized Ultra Instinct did not suit his personality. The technique required emptying the mind and achieving tranquility. Vegeta could never fight that way. His pride and battle-hungry nature defined who he was as a warrior. Beerus noticed Vegeta's frustration. The God of Destruction felt similarly about Ultra Instinct. Beerus found the angelic technique boring and restrictive. He preferred destruction and overwhelming power to calm evasion. Beerus offered Vegeta an alternative path. The God of Destruction would not formally train Vegeta, as teaching mortals fell outside his job description. However, Beerus allowed Vegeta to follow him around and observe. Vegeta could steal any techniques he witnessed during Beerus' exercises. This unconventional training method suited both their personalities perfectly. Chapter 69 marked Vegeta's first serious training session with Beerus. The God of Destruction took Vegeta aside and immediately put him through brutal physical and mental trials. Beerus began with philosophy rather than combat. He asked Vegeta how many planets the Saiyan race destroyed during their history. When Vegeta confessed, the Saiyans committed many sins that brought karmic destruction upon themselves. Beerus angrily rejected this notion. The God of Destruction called Vegeta's guilt ridiculous and self-centered. Beerus explained that Vegeta carried unnecessary baggage. The Saiyan prince felt guilty not just for his own crimes, but for the sins of his entire race. This doubt weighed down Vegeta's soul and prevented him from accessing true, destructive power. Beerus shifted from philosophical teaching to physical thrashing. He beat Vegeta mercilessly while explaining how a destroyer must think. A God of Destruction cannot be trapped by doubt or guilt. Their mind must focus purely on destruction and nothing else. This singular focus grants unlimited power. Then Beerus revealed shocking information designed to enrage Vegeta. He casually mentioned that he suggested Frieza eradicate the Saiyans all those years ago. Planet Vegeta's destruction happened because Beerus ordered it. This revelation had exactly the effect Beerus wanted. Vegeta exploded with rage and attacked the God of Destruction with everything he possessed. However, Beerus thrashed him again without effort. Vegeta never landed a single blow. Beerus demonstrated perfect mastery over his destructive powers by destroying Vegeta's armor without harming his body underneath. This precise control showed the gap between them. Beerus delivered his final lesson. As long as Vegeta remained trapped by the past, he could never grow beyond his current limits. Before creation comes destruction. Vegeta needed to destroy any stray thoughts plaguing his mind and recreate himself from scratch. Only then could he access the power of a God of Destruction. This training continued across multiple chapters. Beerus taught Vegeta about the Hakai technique and the true nature of destruction. The God of Destruction showed Vegeta how to erase matter completely, breaking the very laws of physics. In Chapter 73, Vegeta prepared to leave Beerus' planet for a mission. The God of Destruction gave Vegeta an earring to attach to his earlobe. This accessory signified that Vegeta now possessed the ability to wield destruction. Beerus ordered Vegeta to prove that the God of Destruction's signature move was stronger than angelic techniques. This represented Beerus' investment in Vegeta's success. The lazy god actually cared whether Vegeta could outshine Goku's Ultra Instinct. Their rivalry became a proxy war between angels and gods of destruction. Vegeta faced his ultimate test against Granola in Chapter 74. Granola was a Cerealian warrior who wished to become the strongest in the universe using the Dragon Balls. That wish granted him tremendous power. Granola easily overwhelmed Goku, despite the Saiyan's use of Ultra Instinct. Then Vegeta stepped in to fight. He started in his Super Saiyan Blue evolved form. However, Granola proved too strong even for that transformation. Granola landed a pressure point attack that destroyed Vegeta's battle armor completely. At this moment, something changed in Vegeta. The destruction of his armor and the intensity of battle triggered an ecstatic state within him. Vegeta loved fighting with everything on the line. He cherished battles where he could go all out without worrying about consequences. This pure love of combat helped Vegeta tap into the mindset Beerus described. His mind focused purely on destruction and battle. Vegeta's ki changed dramatically. His energy transformed from regular god ki into the ki of a god of destruction. Granola watched in shock as Vegeta's appearance changed. His hair turned a deep purple color. His eyes shifted to magenta with visible black pupils. His eyebrows vanished completely, creating ridge-like features on his brow. This made the transformation resemble Super Saiyan 3, though Vegeta's hair did not grow nearly as long. His muscle mass increased slightly and became much more defined. Most noticeably, a flaming purple aura surrounded Vegeta's body. This aura looked identical to the energy gods of destruction wielded. The transformation made Granola stumble backward in genuine fright. Chapter 75 revealed the true nature of this new form. Vegeta immediately went on the offensive. He grabbed Granola by the scarf and declared he would give him a dose of tough love. The two warriors exchanged blows across the ruins of the Cerealian civilization. During this battle, something unusual happened. Vegeta stopped dodging attacks. He allowed Granola to hit him repeatedly. Each successful blow from Granola seemed to energize Vegeta rather than weaken him. The Saiyan Prince explained that damage fueled him now. The hotter his battle spirit burned, the stronger he grew. Granola observed this strange fighting style confused him. Vegeta's technique seemed completely opposite to Goku's Ultra Instinct. Where Goku dodged everything automatically, Vegeta deliberately took hits. When Granola pointed out this difference, Vegeta responded with pride. He declared Goku's technique pathetic compared to his own. Goku's body might have a mind of its own, but Vegeta was all ego. He told Granola to call this transformation Ultra Ego. The name perfectly captured Vegeta's personality and fighting philosophy. Ultra Ego worked through specific mechanics. Taking damage actually made Vegeta stronger. However, damage alone was not the only factor. Vegeta's battle lust played an equally important role. The more excited Vegeta became about fighting, the more his power increased. Every exchange of blows, every moment of combat, thrill ramped up his strength. This created a feedback loop. Taking hits increased his battle fervor. Greater battle fervor increased his power. More power made him enjoy the fight even more. The cycle continued as long as Vegeta maintained the proper mindset. This represented the complete opposite philosophy from Ultra Instinct. Goku's technique required clearing the mind of all thought and emotion. The body moved independently, dodging attacks automatically while finding openings for counterattacks. Ultra Instinct emphasized perfect defense and efficiency. Ultra Ego threw all that away. It emphasized overwhelming offense and accepting damage. Vegeta moved his body freely based on his will and desires. His body did not act independently like Goku's. Instead, Vegeta's conscious decisions and battle instincts guided every action. The transformation changed Vegeta's ki fundamentally. His energy became the same as that of a god of destruction. Anyone who could sense divine energy recognized this immediately. Goku felt Vegeta's ki and noted it seemed different from before. The energy now matched what Beerus and other destroyer gods wielded. This divine ki came with all the properties of destruction energy. Vegeta gained full access to the power of destruction. He could manifest his purple aura into an opaque, flame-like state that destroyed enemy attacks on contact. Most importantly, Vegeta could now use Hakai freely. This technique allowed him to erase anything from existence completely. Gods of destruction used Hakai to fulfill their cosmic role of pruning universes. They destroyed planets, civilizations, and threats to maintain balance. Vegeta accessed this same devastating power. During his fight with Granola, he created massive spheres of destruction energy. He threatened to destroy the entire planet if necessary. The raw destructive force Vegeta commanded in this form dwarfed anything he previously achieved. However, Ultra Ego came with serious limitations. The form required the right mindset to maintain. Vegeta needed to stay focused purely on destruction and battle. Any doubts or distractions weakened the transformation. If Vegeta started thinking about protecting others or worrying about consequences, his power diminished. This made Ultra Ego unsuited for many situations Vegeta found himself in. When innocent lives needed protection, Vegeta could not fully embrace the destroyer mentality. The damage-based power increase created a dangerous double-edged sword. Yes, taking hits made Vegeta stronger. However, his body still accumulated actual damage from those attacks. Vegeta's stamina drained with each blow he absorbed. Eventually, he reached a point where the damage outpaced his power growth. Once Vegeta's stamina fell too low, he could no longer benefit from taking more hits. At that point, Ultra Ego became a liability rather than an advantage. Vegeta discovered this harsh truth during his battle with Granola. Initially, Ultra Ego gave him overwhelming advantage. He dominated Granola with superior strength and devastating attacks. The Cerealian warrior could barely defend himself against Vegeta's onslaught. However, as the fight continued, Vegeta lost himself in battle lust. He deliberately allowed Granola to hit him more and more, seeking to push his power even higher. This proved to be a critical mistake. Vegeta realized too late that he had taken far too much damage. His vision started blurring. His body accumulated injuries faster than his power grew to compensate. Goku sensed from afar that Vegeta was actually losing strength rather than gaining it. The accumulated damage finally exceeded what Vegeta's body could handle. He attempted to finish the fight quickly by creating a massive ball of destruction energy. However, Granola countered the attack after unlocking his second evolved eye. The impact from the explosion knocked Vegeta to the ground. He reverted to base form, completely drained. This demonstrated Ultra Ego's fundamental weakness. Unlike transformations that simply multiplied power, Ultra Ego required careful management. Vegeta needed to balance taking damage for power gains against his body's physical limits. Too little damage meant wasting the form's potential. Too much damage led to exhaustion and defeat. Mastering Ultra Ego required incredible battle sense and self-awareness. Vegeta needed to know exactly how much punishment his body could endure before crossing the point of no return. Another limitation appeared later when Vegeta fought Black Frieza. Frieza returned with a new Golden Black transformation far beyond anyone's current power level. Vegeta transformed into Ultra Ego to fight this new threat. However, Black Frieza knocked Ultra Ego Vegeta unconscious with a single devastating blow. This proved that overwhelming power could bypass Ultra Ego's damage to strength conversion entirely. If an attack exceeded Vegeta's durability by too much, he simply blacked out, regardless of any power increase. Despite these limitations, Ultra Ego represented Vegeta's most powerful transformation to date. The form suited his personality perfectly. Vegeta always defined himself through pride in combat. He lived for battle and testing himself against strong opponents. Ultra Ego rewarded exactly that mindset. It turned Vegeta's greatest character traits into literal sources of power. His ego, his battle lust, his pride in being a warrior, all of these fed directly into the transformation's strength. The form also represented Vegeta's character development over decades. The old Vegeta from the Saiyan Saga and Namek Saga cared nothing for others. He destroyed planets without remorse and killed without hesitation. That version of Vegeta would have wielded Ultra Ego perfectly. However, Vegeta changed over the years. He developed connections to Earth and its people. He started a family with Bulma. He learned to care about his children and even consider Goku a friend rather than just a rival. This growth made Vegeta a better person, but complicated his use of Ultra Ego. Beerus's training tried to address this issue. The God of Destruction taught Vegeta to separate his current self from past sins. Vegeta needed to stop carrying guilt for what the Saiyan race did under Frieza. Those crimes belong to the past. They should not weigh down the person Vegeta became. By destroying those mental chains and recreating himself, Vegeta could access destruction power without being consumed by it. This lesson proved crucial for Vegeta's ability to transform at all. The transformation's creation came from manga artist Toyotaro, with approval from Akira Toriyama. Toyotaro designed Ultra Ego to contrast with Ultra Instinct. He depicted the two forms as yin and yang, opposite but complementary forces. Vegeta's appearance in the form took inspiration directly from Beerus. The purple hair and eyes matched the God of Destruction's color scheme. The lack of eyebrows resembled Beerus's natural appearance. Even the flame-like purple aura duplicated what surrounded Beerus when he powered up. The name Ultra Ego paralleled Ultra Instinct perfectly. In Japanese, Ultra Instinct translates as Migat no Gokui, meaning secret of the selfish. Ultra Ego translates as Wagamama no Gokui, meaning secret of the self-indulgent. Both terms involve selfishness or ego, but with different nuances. Ultra Instinct represents acting without thought, purely on physical instinct. Ultra Ego represents indulging one's desires and ego completely. The linguistic parallel highlighted how the forms expressed Goku and Vegeta's different personalities through similar divine power. Ultra Ego established Vegeta as a potential successor to Beerus. The God of Destruction mentioned in Chapter 101 that he would nominate Goku or Vegeta as the next God of Destruction once they surpassed him. However, Vegeta seemed the more natural choice for this role. His personality aligned perfectly with what a destroyer god needed. Goku preferred training and friendly competition. Vegeta embraced his role as a warrior who destroyed threats. Even though Vegeta became a better person, he never lost his edge or his pride. Whether Vegeta would actually accept becoming a god of destruction remained unclear. The position came with responsibilities and limitations. Gods of destruction served specific cosmic purposes. They could not simply do whatever they wanted. Vegeta valued his freedom and his family on Earth. Accepting Beerus's role might mean giving up the life he built. However, the possibility remained open for the future. Ultra Ego represented Vegeta's first major step down that potential path. The transformation fundamentally changed the power dynamic between Goku and Vegeta. For years, Vegeta chased Goku's shadow. Every time Vegeta caught up, Goku pulled further ahead with a new transformation or technique. Ultra Instinct seemed to cement Goku's superiority permanently. Vegeta tried to master Ultra Instinct himself, but failed repeatedly. The technique simply did not work for his personality. Ultra Ego changed everything. It gave Vegeta a completely unique power path separate from Goku's. Neither form clearly surpassed the other. They served different purposes and rewarded different fighting styles. This parallel development represented the perfect culmination of Goku and Vegeta's rivalry. They no longer competed on the same ladder. Instead, they climbed different mountains entirely. Goku mastered angelic techniques emphasizing perfection and tranquility. Vegeta mastered destruction techniques emphasizing power and indulgence. Both paths led to divine power. Both paths suited their respective users perfectly. The question of who was stronger became meaningless because they fought in fundamentally different ways. Ultra Ego proved that Vegeta finally found his own identity separate from Goku. He stopped trying to beat Goku at Goku's game. Instead, Vegeta played a completely different game with its own rules. This maturity represented decades of character development paying off. The proud Saiyan prince who once refused to acknowledge anyone's superiority now walked his own path with confidence. He did not need to surpass Goku through imitation. He surpassed Goku by becoming the best version of himself. The damage-powered growth mechanic made Ultra Ego one of Dragon Ball's most unique transformations. No other form rewarded taking hits the way Ultra Ego did. This created completely different battle strategies. Vegeta actively welcomed attacks he could have dodged. He turned his opponent's offense into his own strength increase. The more his enemies threw at him, the stronger he became. This perfectly captured Vegeta's core philosophy, using adversity as fuel for growth. Every challenge made him stronger. Every setback became an opportunity. Ultra Ego transformed that mindset into literal power mechanics. Before we move on, make sure to subscribe if you're enjoying this breakdown. Moving on to Hit's time skip as pocket time and not true time stop. Hit time skip as pocket time and not true time stop. Hit possesses one of Dragon Ball Super's most misunderstood abilities. Most people call it time stop. They see Hit disappear and reappear instantly. They watch opponents freeze in place while Hit moves freely. Every observation suggests Hit stops time completely. The Galactic King himself initially described the technique this way to Goku. Jaco agreed with this assessment. Everyone who witnessed Hit's power against Vegeta reached the same conclusion. Hit stops time for everyone except himself. This explanation seemed obvious and complete. Vados proved everyone wrong. The angel attendant watched Hit fight Goku in episode 72 and provided the correct explanation. Champa sat beside Vados, completely baffled by Hit's abilities. The god of destruction could not understand why Goku saw Hit clearly but never landed a single punch. Champa assumed Hit stopped time like everyone else believed. Vados corrected this assumption immediately. Hit does not stop time at all. The technique works completely differently than anyone imagined. Hit skips time instead of stopping it. This distinction sounds minor, but changes everything about how the ability functions. Time stop freezes every moment completely. Nothing moves, nothing changes. The user exists outside the normal flow of time entirely. True time stop creates a single frozen instant that lasts as long as the user maintains it. Hit's technique operates on fundamentally different principles. He does not freeze moments, he jumps over them entirely. The skipping mechanism explains Hit's basic movements perfectly. Hit activates time skip for 1/10 of a second initially. During that 1/10 of a second, Hit moves to a new position. Everyone else experiences that 1/10 of a second normally. They blink and Hit stands somewhere else entirely. The 1/10 of a second passed for everyone. They lived through it completely. But Hit skipped over that same 1/10 of a second and emerged on the other side, already in position. He jumped from point A to point B without experiencing the journey between them. Goku figured out this aspect quickly. The Saiyan watched Hit fight Vegeta carefully and noticed the pattern. Hit's movements followed predictable paths. He could not change direction mid-skip. Goku explained this limitation clearly. Hit hides his hands in his pockets and conceals his feet under his coat. These precautions mask his intended movements before activating time skip. Once Hit commits to a movement and activates the technique, he cannot alter course. The skip carries him along his chosen path automatically. This explains why Goku predicted Hit's attacks successfully after learning the pattern. Vados revealed the second component that makes time skip truly unique. Hit does not simply skip time and move. He stores the time he skips. Every tenth of a second Hit skips gets saved somewhere. That stored time accumulates with each use. Hit collects these tiny fragments of skip time like a battery charging. The stored time serves a specific purpose. Hit uses accumulated skip time to create something entirely new. The stored time generates a separate dimension. Vados called it a parallel world. Other characters described it as a pocket dimension. Whis used similar terminology when explaining the technique during the Tournament of Power. This dimension exists independently from normal space. Hit can freely move to and from this separate dimension. The dimension provides the true source of Hit's seemingly impossible abilities. People see Hit standing in one location. His body actually exists inside the pocket dimension. The version people see represents where Hit would stand in normal space. His real body moves freely within the protected alternate dimension. This dimensional aspect explains why opponents cannot touch Hit. Goku threw punches directly at Hit's visible form. Every punch passed straight through without connecting. Hit occupied a different dimensional space entirely. Goku's fists moved through normal three-dimensional space. Hit existed in the pocket dimension created from stored skip time. The two never actually occupied the same space simultaneously. Goku could see Hit because Hit's position remained visible. The attacks failed because Hit's physical body existed somewhere else entirely. The pocket dimension provides complete protection from normal attacks. Enemies see their target clearly. They aim carefully and strike with perfect accuracy. Their attacks pass through empty space because the target occupies a different dimension. This makes Hit essentially untouchable under normal circumstances. He stands visible and vulnerable while actually existing somewhere completely safe. The technique creates the perfect defense for an assassin. Opponents waste energy attacking something that technically exists but cannot be harmed through conventional means. Hit's ability improves dramatically throughout Dragon Ball Super. He started with time skip lasting just 1/10 of a second. This brief duration limited his options significantly. Goku predicted movements that short easily. Hit pushed the technique further during their first fight. He extended time skip to 1/5 of a second. Goku adapted again. Hit evolved once more and reached half a second. Each improvement granted Hit more time to move and plan. The longer duration made prediction increasingly difficult for opponents. The half-second version changed everything about the technique. Hit gained enough time to not just move, but attack within the skipped period. He no longer needed to exit the pocket dimension before striking. The extended duration let Hit move through his protected space, position himself perfectly, and strike opponents who appeared completely frozen. This evolution transformed time skip from a movement technique into a true combat ability. Goku faced an opponent who could attack from safety, while enemies remained helpless. Goku overcame the basic time skip through prediction. The Saiyan studied Hit's attack patterns and anticipated positions. This strategy stopped working when Hit evolved the technique. Super Saiyan Blue provided insufficient power to counter the improved ability. Goku needed something stronger. He combined Super Saiyan Blue with Kaioken times 10. The massive power increase achieved something remarkable. Goku moved fast enough to enter the future. King Kai explained this phenomenon specifically. The Kaioken times 10 boost let Goku force himself into the future. He did not break time or move faster than time. Goku literally pushed himself forward into moments that had not occurred yet for anyone else. This allowed him to exist in the same temporal space as Hit during time skip activation. They fought on equal footing finally. Hit could no longer hide and skip time because Goku reached that same space through overwhelming power. Power determines time skip's effectiveness completely. The manga explained this limitation explicitly. Time skip works perfectly against opponents equal to or weaker than Hit. Stronger opponents disrupt the technique automatically. Their superior power shortens the duration. Hit can maintain the skip. Goku demonstrated this clearly. Regular Super Saiyan proved stronger than Hit without reducing time skip noticeably. Super Saiyan God shortened the duration considerably. Super Saiyan Blue at full power negated time skip entirely. Hit could not skip even 1/10 of a second against that level of strength. The anime showed the same principle differently. Goku's Kaioken times 10 breakthrough proved power overcomes time skip. Later opponents demonstrated similar capabilities. Jiren ignored time skip completely during the Tournament of Power. He did not resist through speed or prediction. Jiren's overwhelming strength let him perceive Hit's real location inside the pocket dimension. The Pride Trooper saw past the visible phantom and struck Hit's actual body directly. Power trumps dimensional tricks consistently in Dragon Ball. Dispo countered time skip through entirely different means. The Universe 11 warrior lacked Jiren's overwhelming strength. He relied on incredible speed and enhanced hearing instead. Dispo listened for a specific tell in Hit's technique. Every time, skip activation required Hit to tense his entire body first. Muscles tensed for a split second before the skip began. Dispo's superior hearing detected these muscle vibrations. He knew exactly when Hit would activate time skip. This advance warning, combined with Dispo's incredible speed, let him strike before Hit completed the technique. Hit adapted to Dispo's counter creatively. The assassin recognized the pattern quickly. Dispo predicted time skip by listening for muscle tension. Hit solved this by creating fake muscle tensions. He tensed his body without activating time skip. This produced the same vibrations Dispo listened for. The Universe 11 warrior attacked empty space repeatedly. Hit actually activated time skip at different moments when Dispo committed to his counter. This adaptation showcased Hit's growth during battle. He identifies weaknesses in his own technique and develops solutions instantly. The pocket dimension grants additional abilities beyond simple protection. Hit developed these applications after his first fight with Goku. He created the Tides of Time technique in episode 72. This ability represented Hit's exploration of the pocket dimension's full potential. Tides of Time made Hit intangible in normal space. Attacks passed through his body completely. He moved between dimensions freely during combat. This evolution made prediction worthless. Even if opponents anticipated Hit's position, they could not touch him. Goku broke the Tides of Time through raw power. The Saiyan charged his Super Saiyan Blue energy massively. He released an enormous amount of ki, all at once. This energy surge shattered Hit's pocket dimension completely. Whis noted that powerful enough energy destroys dimensional barriers. This principle appeared multiple times in Dragon Ball. Gotenks and Super Buu broke through the Room of Spirit and Time. Vegeta destroyed that same room from the outside. Goku's concentrated power achieved the same effect against Hit's separate dimension. The pocket space could not withstand overwhelming energy focused against it. Hit created phantom images through the evolved time skip. Whis explained this application during the Tournament of Power. Hit left a phantom version of himself in normal space. This phantom appeared completely real to observers. Meanwhile, Hit's actual body moved freely within the pocket dimension. Opponents saw Hit standing motionless before them. They attacked the phantom repeatedly. Hit's real body circled behind and struck from safety. The phantom could not attack or defend. It served purely as a decoy while Hit positioned himself advantageously. Jiren saw through phantom images immediately. His immense power granted perception beyond normal limits. Jiren looked at the phantom and knew it represented a fake. He sensed Hit's real position inside the pocket dimension accurately. When Hit attempted a sneak attack from behind, Jiren turned and struck the real Hit directly. The Pride Trooper did not need to break the pocket dimension like Goku did. Jiren simply hit through dimensional barriers effortlessly. His punch connected with Hit's body despite the dimensional separation. Time skip allows selective targeting during the Tournament of Power. Hit demonstrated this ability against Jiren. He activated time skip specifically on Jiren alone. The background shows this clearly. Everything else moves normally. Only Jiren experiences stop time. This selective application provides tactical advantages. Hit stops one dangerous opponent without affecting allies or creating openings for other enemies. The technique evolved from affecting everyone to targeting individuals precisely. The manga version functions somewhat differently. Toyotaro depicted time skip as more straightforward. Hit skips forward 0.1 seconds into the future in the manga. He appears where he would naturally arrive in that time period. This explains why opponents cannot track him. Hit literally travels through time by a fraction of a second. He emerges having already completed movements others never saw. The manga emphasized the time travel aspect over dimensional space. Both versions share the same weakness. Stronger opponents reduce time skip effectiveness, regardless of mechanism. The manga showed Super Saiyan God Goku shortening skip duration progressively. Each power increase reduced the time Hit could maintain the technique. Super Saiyan Blue negated it completely. The anime showed similar results through different mechanics. Both interpretations agree that sufficient power breaks time skip entirely. Hit called time skip his signature technique for good reason. The ability defines his entire fighting style. He built an assassination career around this single power. Time skip lets Hit reach any target undetected. Security systems cannot track someone who skips time. Guards cannot react to attacks that take zero subjective time. The technique provides the perfect tool for eliminating targets quickly and escaping without trace. Hit refined time skip over 1,000 years. Every assassination taught him new applications and refinements. Time skip does not qualify as true time stop despite similar effects. True time stop freezes every moment completely. The user exists outside time entirely. Nothing changes except the user's actions. Time skip creates the illusion of stopping time through different mechanics. Hit skips over moments rather than freezing them. He uses skip time to create pocket dimensions rather than existing outside time completely. The end result looks nearly identical to observers. Opponents freeze helplessly while Hit moves freely. The underlying mechanism differs fundamentally from actual time manipulation. Vados' explanation clarified everything about time skip's true nature. The technique represents Hit's unique approach to time manipulation. He does not freeze moments like conventional time stoppers. Hit collects skip time and weaponizes it. The stored time generates protected spaces where Hit operates safely. This creative application of temporal mechanics produced one of Dragon Ball Super's most versatile abilities. Time Skip combines movement, defense, and offense seamlessly. Hit's 1,000 years of refinement transformed a simple time skip into a complete combat system. The technique revolutionized how Dragon Ball Super portrayed time abilities. Previous time manipulation in the series remained simple and direct. Guldo stopped time completely for short periods. The Time Chamber altered time flow, but not the present moment. Time Skip introduced complexity to temporal powers. Hit's ability layers multiple effects together. Skipping time generates storage. Stored time creates dimensions. Dimensional space grants intangibility and positioning. Each component builds on previous effects to create something greater than simple time manipulation. Hit's Time Skip ultimately demonstrates that pocket dimensions and stored time create more interesting combat scenarios than pure time stop. The ability provides clear limitations opponents can exploit. Power overcomes it directly. Speed and perception counter specific weaknesses. The dimensional aspect allows creative battles where characters break through barriers or detect hidden positions. This creates far more engaging fights than simple frozen time, where nothing moves until the user acts. Time Skip evolved fighting in Dragon Ball Super by making temporal manipulation tactical rather than absolute. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.